We pay our first visit this season with Islanders general manager Mike Milbury. 3-6-1 after the first 10 is obviously not what you had in mind. So what is your overall mindset about how things have gone?
I don't think any of us are real happy with the way things are going. The things that made us so successful at the start of last season were goaltending, power play, and penalty killing, and all three have been mediocre, to be kind. And we can't survive, specifically in today's NHL, with the rules being cracked down on, such as they have been. We've got to address those issues, and it certainly starts with goal, and it goes to those special teams.
Is there one overriding factor among those that you just listed?
Yeah, you live and die with your goaltending. I think everybody knows that. That's not a secret. And right now our goaltending is, Ozzy has not been on top of his game, and Snow's been okay, but not, they haven't gone out and stolen a game for us, and this team needs a goaltender to do that. And that's not to excuse the rest of the squad and pin it on the goaltenders, because, you know, it'd be nice if we could have been a little more productive on the power play or kill off the odd penalty to bail them out. But right now, we're not quite in sync, Howie.
You threw something out, I don't know, about a week or so ago about December 1st when you talked about your level of concern relative to the goaltending. Is that some sort of unofficial date where you start thinking about Rick DiPietro?
Oh, no, you know, I'm not going to put the goalies on alert or something like that. You know,
but has it crossed your mind?
I think another month of this kind of productivity or lack of same would mandate a change of some sort. And I'm not talking about the goaltenders, I'm talking about whatever. But you can't, you got some pretty good looking teams out there that all of a sudden are surprising. You get Tampa galloping out of the gate. You know, Washington's back in play, and different teams have started to step it up, and we can't, you know, we can't fall double digits behind and expect to catch up, and we can't expect to have Michael Peca come back and produce a miracle of some sorts. We should be better than that.
Having mentioned Peca, and this is more abstract, and I don't know that you could even prove it if you felt it, but is there a thought that goes through your mind that perhaps in that room, some guys might be saying, well, we're not whole, and when he gets back, things are going to turn around to where you think these guys are waiting for Michael Peca?
They might be, but if they are, they've made a mistake. Because if he doesn't come back until December 1st, if he doesn't play, a lot of minutes for us until then, it may be too late. I mean, we still have guys here that are underachieving, and they have to look in the mirror themselves and get it going. It's a pretty good group. You know, we're short Kavasha, we're short Peca, and we're short, Mariusz Turkowski in terms of offensive players, and that seems to be a lot. But we're supposed to be getting some other contributions from guys down the line, and we're not getting them. At this point, there have been some rough patches. Nothing seems to have clicked. There has been some pretty good effort on some nights, but it's got to be better than that. And not only does it start with some of the issues we already talked about, we got to stay out of the penalty box. I mean, our discipline has not been at the level that we need to have it at. We went into the season knowing penalties were going to be called, and knowing that we were going to have to be better than everybody else. And right now, you know the statistics better than I do. I'm one of the most penalized teams in the league.
Well, we've been chatting with Islanders general manager Mike Milbury. Almost unfair to sit you down for 3.5 minutes. I mean, that's 4 or 5 questions. You handled it beautifully. One of these days, we're going to make a whole half-hour show with Mike and really get to the state of affairs around the New York Island.
How much, Howie?
Don't look at me. I'm just the middleman here.
Oh, manager's back. He's got some cash.
That's right. See Kevin. He's the money man. We have much more coming up here on Geico Islanders Game Night as we lead you towards the Islanders and the St. Louis Blues. We'll be back right after this.
Go inside tonight's game. The clear headline is Michael Peca taking warm-ups in full uniform on the ice tonight with his teammates within the last half hour or so. Now, the Islanders would only confirm for us what we saw with our own eyes, and that was Peca skating with his teammates and taking warm-ups. They would have to activate him in order for him to be able to play tonight. They would not confirm that they've done that, but they would not confirm that they haven't done that. So it would be a major league surprise if he played, but he may. So if Michael Peca plays tonight, that would end up probably being one of the plays of the month for November. But first, we have to go back to the plays of the month for October, and that's where we go now. Let the countdown begin. Number 10, Dave Scatchard scores a minute 1 into the season opener at Buffalo, an Islanders record for fastest goal to start a season. Number 9, Justin Mapletof's first NHL goal. The rookie scored Wednesday in Carolina. Number 8, we reward Jason Blake's unselfish play.
For Blake, Jason Blake closing in, gives it to Ashen, he shoots and scores!
Number 7, Alexei Yashin is double trouble.
He scores! Sean Bates for Yashin, he steps up, shoots, he scores!
Number 6, the veteran Claude Lapointe scores a goal in 3 straight games. Showing the touch in Atlanta, then against Carolina. And number 3 came against the Florida Panthers. It's only the second time in his career that he scored in 3 straight contests. Number 5 is Chris Osgood with 2 huge saves against the Thrashers. One on the dive and then the second one with a skate. Number 4 is Mark Parrish doing what he does best. A pretty deflection to beat Brian Boucher. And it was even prettier in slow motion. Number 3, Garth Snow coming up huge in overtime against the Flyers. Snow preserves a 3-3 overtime tie. Sean Bates starts number 2.
It in, bumps Spellett, got it to Bates, moves in, centering feet, score! Parrish finishes!
And the number 1 play for the month of October, Adrian Aucoin.
Aucoin scores! Right off the face-off, Adrian Aucoin in overtime. Islanders win it 4-3.
So those were the plays of the month for October. And if Michael Peca plays tonight, there could be a few more wins coming in November. They did not announce Peca as a scratch. Stay tuned. An update after this. We thought it would be December 1st. Try November 1st. This was the scene about 15 minutes ago. The captain, Michael Peca, on the ice taking warm-ups with his teammates, and it does not appear to be window dressing. He has been activated for tonight's game against the St. Louis Blues. And we welcome you inside the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island for a Saturday night of New York Islanders hockey. The Blues have won 6 in a row. They're here to take on the Islanders. We'll get you set for the opening face-off next. Hi there and welcome to our coverage of New York Islanders hockey, and that's the headline right there. Michael Peca has been activated about a month earlier than we thought he might be. Islanders obviously kept it very quiet today. We don't know how much he'll play, but he has been activated. We take you back to Game 5 at the Air Canada Center, Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Michael Peca, Darcy Tucker goes low. Michael Peca goes to the dressing room. Postseason over. Michael Peca had ACL surgery on May 29th, and he had shoulder surgery 2 weeks before that this past spring. And really, he's told us a few times that the shoulder bothered him as much, if not more, than the knee. But they're about to welcome him back. Last season, 25 goals, 35 assists in the plus 19. The Islanders with 3 wins in October, looking for a few more wins in November if they get their captain back. So that's the story for tonight. It's a game you don't want to miss, and we can't wait to hear what our guys who will call it have to say about the developing situation. We go now to Howie Rose and Joe Micheletti.
I'll tell you what I'm going to say. I'm stunned. I mean, we had no idea this was coming. We don't know if he will play much, if in fact he plays at all, although we are told that he's in the starting lineup. This crowd doesn't know it. I'm curious to see what the reaction's going to be.
They kept this very, very quiet. I mean, this is like trying to get something out of the Pentagon with this secret. But you know, you think back, and our information is that Michael Peca is going to play sparingly in this game. Whether he uses him on the power play, I would assume he'll try that, but try and keep him out of difficult situations. But you think back to training camp when the team got back from Lake Placid, and they were on one side of the ice, or on one ice surface at Syosset. Michael Peca was by himself on the smaller ice surface at Syosset, going through his drills while the team was going through theirs, and he was by himself, and he was skating hard, and Sean Donnellan was taking him through this. And I remember a conversation with Donnellan. He said he's way ahead of schedule. He's worked hard. He's way ahead. He's way ahead. When's he going to play? I don't know, but he's way ahead of schedule. And of course, with Michael Peca and the way he plays and how much he cares and the leadership alone, I mean, this is huge to have him back in the lineup. Even if it's to play sparingly, the fact that they've got his leadership back, they've got somebody on the bench that's calm, that's been through these types of things before, and the team's going through a difficult situation, I think is tremendous.
Mike Milbury did a pretty good job of keeping the information bottled up, because if you were watching our pregame show, you heard my chat with Mike, and let's face it, he was still alluding to the fact that Peca might not be back until the 1st of December or so, clearly giving no indication that there was any chance that Michael would be back any time in the near future, let alone just about a month from now. So the bottom line is he's here. We know he's going to at least make an appearance because he's in the starting lineup. And, you know, there are other factors to this game as well, not the least of which, as Mike Milbury explained, is getting the goaltending straightened out. So Chris Osgood will be back in goal tonight.
You know, I talked to Chris Osgood before the game. He was very calm. He was cool. I asked him how he felt. He says, good. You know, and he just seemed very, you know, very relaxed. And, you know, he knows. I mean, his numbers have told the story for the most part. I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of breaks, but he hasn't played well. He's let in a lot of goals that normally he stops. He knows that he was doing some things technically with his game that weren't him, and that he had to change. And part of that was being a little bit too aggressive. And so, you know, he's been working on his game. He's been trying to get back to where he was a year ago. And you look at the numbers, and the numbers basically tell the story, and they're not good.
Well, the Islanders are hitting the ice right now. And there is a chance, obviously, that the fans are going to pick it up right away. I don't know how many watched warm-ups and had a feel for the fact that Mike was out there. It's very conceivable that he could take the opening draw, go back to the bench, and that's all we'll see of him. Let's take a listen to the reaction when the crowd realizes that Michael Peca means business tonight.
There you hear it. Didn't take them long to recognize it, did it? I'm sure the buzz was going about just as when they came out for warm-ups and people started talking about, we started talking about Michael's out there for warm-ups, he's out there for warm-ups, and here you hear the reaction, and it just keeps building.
Well, because more and more people are just starting to realize now that Captain Michael Peca is back. How much he'll play will be determined. The captain is back, and that has people feeling pretty good here on the island. All right, Devin, certainly we have a lot of questions here relative to Michael Peca. Will he just take the opening draw and then head to the bench and kind of pull a Bob Nystrom the way Bobby Nye did in his 900th game, which turned out to be his last one because he'd hurt his eye? Is this just for one night? Is the target date of December 4th or thereabouts still very much in play? And because of the Islanders' recent struggles, is Michael Peca simply making a ceremonial appearance to try and fire up the troops?
That's the way it seems, doesn't it?
Yeah,
We'll
but I mean, is this going to be the only time we see him in uniform until the first week in December? I suppose some of what happens here will determine that. He battles on the opening faceoff, stays on the ice as the puck winds up back at the St. Louis line.
Yeah, he had a chance
and puts
to
a body check right on.
He's fine so far.
The first 15 seconds have been magnificent. As the puck ends up in the Islanders' zone, played around the boards by Commander. Well, so much for the ceremonial faceoff. And Michael will make a turn at the red line, and a half minute into his first shift, head off. And now Yashin is out with Parrish and Bates. So the Lucky Sevens were reunited for the first half minute. And we'll just see what happens here. It's a work in progress, to be sure.
I think it would have been difficult to tell Michael Peca to take the faceoff and then come to the bench.
Yeah. Difficult in theory, of course, as Yashin moves up with Parrish. Takes the shot, bounces away. Yashin gets it back. Yashin throws it off the side of the net. But we'll just obviously keep a close eye on Michael and see if he sees anything close to a representative amount of ice time, or who knows, maybe that was the cameo. Roman Hamrlik back at the Islander blue line. Takes a hit from Corey Stillman, number 61, and the puck leaves the playing surface.
Can you imagine, though, Mike Milbury and maybe Charles Long and Sanjay Kumar, if the plan was take the face-off and come off, stay out of any type of situations, and he had a chance to come off in the first 5 seconds, and he swung from the boards in front of his bench back to the center of the ice and went after one of the Blues players with a pretty good hit to start the game. Look at this. I mean, is anybody breathing in Islander management at that point?
I don't know. I'm looking.
and are they yet?
I don't see anybody dangling from one of the suites. And everybody's in their proper position on the bench. Of course, Mike Milbury sits up in one of the suites. Owners, of course, have their own suite, and I don't see any arms or legs dangling overboard. So, a minute and 40 into this first period, the Islanders have Skechard, Weimer, and Torres as their forward line. This is Rafi Torres dropping for Skechard, moves up. It's knocked away by Hevanoff, number 29 for St. Louis. They haven't even discussed the St. Louis Blues. They're off to a marvelous start with all kinds of injuries of their own. And last year, Doug Weight carrying the puck, number 39, was one of the injured Blues. Offside the call there, 2:07 in the first period. The closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by the New York State Smokers Quit Line. How's Mike Milbury holding up here?
No, there's a breath.
And I'm not kidding you, folks. We had no idea whatsoever. Mapletop turned around, going to be a penalty.
Once that
Islanders going to get the first
tired.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. I had it at about 30 seconds.
I had it at 28.
That's all right. Eric Hornick can find that on the real-time scoring system.
I still have this feeling it was about 24 seconds longer than they wanted it. And what a hit that was by Weimer. Again, good solid body checks by both teams. And Weimer right off the face-off with a big hit. And so the teams have come out hitting, and we've seen this. You know, this has been a familiar theme by the Islanders in first period. Watch a hit coming up right there.
Nice for the first half
Solid
minute of
body.
this game. And I'll tell you what, when Michael Peca came out onto the ice at the start of the game, virtually none of the fans in the building had any idea that he'd actually be playing. And the reaction was great because it just built up gradually until they were finally chanting Michael Peca just before the national anthem started. And then the Islanders went out and had a pretty good first couple of shifts.
Except now they're wondering if he got hurt again because he hasn't been on the ice since that first shift.
Mayers and Hammerlick come together. Mayers, another tough customer. Centering feed chipped by Drake. Osgood got a piece of it, and Isbister starts ahead. Isbister slowed down, recovers. There's going to be a penalty. Kick save made by Brathwaite, and Isbister used his legs to help draw a penalty.
Chris Osgood made a couple of saves close in from the side of the
Jackman
net.
got a drive off, face off. Goes into the corner. 28 seconds remain to the period. Dimitra checked by Yashin. Ellenby turned away from Janssen. 16 seconds left. Islanders should come out here. Yashin up the left wing. Holds up. Yashin now for Janssen. McInnes dove. Janssen in front. Yashin, a save by Brathwaite. Best chance for the Islanders just as the period expires. Brathwaite got a shoulder on that shot from Alexei Yashin. First period ends scoreless.
Great first period. Great flow to this period. Of course, all the excitement was because that man for the Islanders was back in the lineup. Michael Peca, their captain, played a shift of 28 seconds. Didn't see any other ice time after that, but was active on the bench from the standpoint of talking to the players. And the Islanders came out, played a strong period. Their penalty killing was good. They had some quality scoring chances, but the goaltending of Fred Brathwaite was just as good on the St. Louis side.
You saw Deb Kaufman there by the runway, looking for some answers as well. Michael Peca was asked to come on between periods and politely declined. So we will continue to try and ascertain as much information as we can about whether or not this was simply a cameo appearance or whether he's back and will simply be brought along slowly. Remember, the Islanders had basically announced just about 10 days ago that December 4th, which is not a game day, by the way, would be the return date for Michael Peca. But all you had to do was look at the schedule to note that the next game after December 4th was against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, that team.
Not a coincidence, is it?
No.
So again, we do not know whether or not there will be future shifts for Michael Peca between now and then. We'll see what we can come up with in the interim, but right now, at the end of one period, the Islanders and the Blues are scoreless.
Intermission report presented by BMW. Stop dreaming, start driving, the ultimate driving machine. And we've got Steve Webb, who has some explaining to do. Explain to us how it all happened. Michael Peca takes the opening faceoff. How much did you guys know?
We were left in the dark on this one. I think it was a motivational factor here. Peter wants to jumpstart us into November, so by bringing Pecs back, there's a big inspiration to us and the fans, so hopefully it gives a little kick in us.
All right, so he takes the opening faceoff. Do you expect him to play more later tonight?
It's not up to me. That's up to the coach and Pecs and the trainers. They discussed all that. They knew what was going on ahead of time. Left us in the dark, but we're raring to go for him.
Right, so did they think you might tell somebody if they told you?
Yeah, he wasn't allowed. I guess he was sworn to secrecy, so he gave his word that he wouldn't tell anybody, so he did a great job doing that. Surprised all of us.
All right, so the two of you spent a lot of that first period chatting on the bench. Michael's sitting next to you. Does he want to get back out there? What was he saying to you?
Oh, yeah, we were talking before the game, and I said, wouldn't it be great that you went out there and had to hit your first shift with your good shoulder? And he's like, yeah, maybe I'll do that. And I think I shocked Peter by going out there and taking a few strides for the extra hit, but he did great out there, and we'd like to see him back, but we know that's it's not our call, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
He did get off a big hit on that first shift that only lasted about 30 seconds. They may not let him back on the ice again.
Yeah, because they don't know what he's capable of doing. Like, I think he wants to get out there. He's got the fire. He's been skating with us for about a month, so he's raring to go. He looks like he's in top shape and stuff like that, but we got to let the body heal itself. So he seems ready, but we got to let the body do the talking.
All right, thanks so much, Steve. Steve had some good answers for us there on Michael Peca, who we hope to talk to later tonight. A quick break, and we're back with much more on the BMW Intermission Report. Right after this, it's scoreless after one. Back after this.
One, and a very interesting first period, particularly the first 28 to 30 seconds. Now the highlights are brought to you by BMW. Stop dreaming, start driving, the ultimate driving machine. The fans didn't know, as Michael Peca walked down the runway out of the Islander locker room, that he meant business. Peca dressed for the game. It was interesting, Joe, to hear the crowd slowly react and build to a crescendo.
Absolutely, because he came out for warm-ups, and the talk started around the building, including up here in the press box, and this is what his first shift looked like. Now, go to the bench. No, he circled, went back, and then decided, I might as well hit somebody as long as I'm out here. And then he finally says, they must have been yelling. He probably heard Mike Milbury up in his box yelling, get to the bench, get off the ice. That shift lasted 28 seconds or so.
And Steve Webb told Deb Kaufman, if you were listening just a couple of moments ago, even the Islander players were in the dark. They did not know that Michael Peca would dress for this game, much less take a shift. Now, what did he do the rest of the period?
Talked. There he explains to Steve Webb why he was in the lineup. And they told Rafi Torres, just keep going, kid. You're doing all right. Tell Sean Bates, I'll be with you on a regular basis sometime soon. Brad Isbister said, I was looking for you in the last power play. Where were you? I was here.
So for now, it's a cameo comeback for Michael Peca. We doubt that he will play any more tonight. BMW Intermission Report brought to you by BMW. Stop dreaming, start driving. The ultimate 4 seconds.
That was a mistake. That was a definite. Imagine how many eyes were on the ice, going back and forth from the ice to the scoreboard to the ice to the scoreboard to see how long his shift was going to be. Mine were, and it was just under 30 seconds.
So Peca stays on the bench. Game scoreless as we start the second. Bodine, Eastwood, Lowe up front for the Blues. Van Ryn and Havanoff back. And the Islanders with Lapointe, Blake, and Webb with Commander and Janssen the defense. This is Steve Webb looking for a play. Webb to Lapointe. That one.
I'm sorry, Howard. Peter Laviolette starting the line that likes to hit. Scatcherd at center, Weimer on one side, and the rookie Rafi Torres on the other. I think maybe just to try and get something going here early in the third period.
Janssen and Tamander the defense, while the Blues have Stillman, Boganicki, and Waite up front. Havenoff and Van Ryn the defense for the Blues. Blues now a little more than 114 minutes, near the equivalent of 2 full games since they last allowed a goal. The Islanders have, this is telling, Joe. Eric Hornick is throwing a lot of numbers at us, but I think this is significant. The Islanders have not scored a goal at even strength in almost 200 minutes. I mean, that's the equivalent of more than 3 games. You have to go back to the goal that Brad Isbister scored against the Philadelphia Flyers a few games back here. The last time the Islanders scored a goal at even strength.
That's a problem.
Adrian Aucoin had a shot knocked away in front, and we talk all the time about how the special teams are important right now, more so than ever, with all the penalties that have been called and will continue to be called until this rules mandate settles down a bit. But you got to be able to play 5-on-5.
No, you have to, absolutely.
I mean, in contrast,
I say that in all seriousness. That is a problem. You go that long without scoring an even strength goal. And you know, the lines that are getting the even strength chances seem to be the Blake line.
And here's one for Blake. He scores! On cue, Jason Blake puts the Islanders on the board. 3-1, St. Louis.
And they've been getting their chances from forechecking and working. They just haven't been able to finish much. Jackman went back and accidentally threw it behind his own net. And Blake just picked it up with players crisscrossing behind the net. I think that threw off Brathwaite a little bit. And Blake just got it turned the other way, and Brathwaite, I think, was still looking over his right shoulder. And by the time he got back to the left, Blake had already stepped in front and slid it in the short side underneath it.
So that will perhaps get the crowd re-energized, make them a factor for the first time since the first period. Blake's first of the year, and it came just as we were discussing the problems the Islanders have had in that category at even strength. So it's 3-1 St. Louis now, a minute 40 into the third period. Parrish in the corner. Now for Bates. Sean Bates got it back to Yashin. He waits for Parrish to get to the front of the net, but now Bart helps out. He is dumped hard by Van Ryn. And the puck sent up the right wing to Mayers for the Blues. Mayers sends it in. So 2 minutes into the third, the Islanders with a goal, looking to build some momentum off of it. With Martinic working it ahead, intended for Bates. It was broken up by Podine. Bates got a piece of it anyway. And now Brathwaite wheels it around the boards.
Now, as we talked about early in the year,
there's Blake again. Blake pulls up, feeds it in front. 2 shots from his knees by Webb. 2 saves by Brathwaite.
And Lapointe was there as well. So again, they force a turnover, and they almost get to within 1. Now, we talked about earlier in the year how the way they're calling penalties this year, a 2-goal lead, if you're trailing in the third period, you can come back. And here's the chance again. The turnover leads to this by Blake. And watch him look, tries to get in front. It ricochets a couple of times. Webb stays with it twice. And then Lapointe with one last stab at the loose puck, and Brathwaite covers up. Well, the Islanders have some life.
Yashin and Parrish got the assists on Blake's first goal of the year at 1:13.
Well, it was a big surprise to everyone. He came out for warm-ups. That's when the talk started. And then when he came on the ice just prior to game time, the buzz, it's almost like the wave. And it just kind of grew louder and louder and louder and played 28 seconds, and that was it.
You know, what's interesting about it, too, is that the crowd really had to figure it out for themselves. I guess once he came out at the beginning of the game, it became obvious that he was at least dressing. Whether or not he was going to play remained somewhat in doubt. Osgood pokes that puck away, but he was not.
I mean, you really can't put it any other way. I mean, played a dreadful game. You know, St. Louis outworked us. I mean, getting beat 6-1. I mean, last year we'd win games 2-1, 1-0, 3-2. Now we're just getting pounded. Right now, I mean, our team's letting a lot of people down. It's disappointing. It's tough for us. I mean, it's tough to come in here after every game and say the same thing and wondering what's going on and try to fix it and waiting for it to turn around. But we just have to do it ourselves. I mean, really nobody else is going to help us. And feeling sorry for ourselves is not the answer. I do feel responsible because I know when I play well, like at the beginning of last year, the team gets confidence and it kind of goes over everybody else. So in that aspect, I do feel like I've let the guys down, because when I play well, I can tell guys feed off me and guys get more confident and the whole team plays better.
Michael Peca did seem to spark the team as he came out to take the opening faceoff, but in the end he couldn't play all that much, and so he wasn't all that much help. When we did get the word that he'd been activated, it turns out he did get in a hit for good measure, but that was all really he was going to play. They just thought that they would give it a try, but it was a one-shot deal.
I was excited about the idea. I had a smile on my face for a day and a half now, and I had to lie to everybody when they asked me what I was smiling about. But you know, obviously we've got a lot of work ahead as a team. It was fun for me to be there, but you know, you always wish you can contribute more than you can.
I didn't even know he was gonna even dress. He sits right next to me, and he had a smile on the whole right after warm up, and I said, "What's up your sleeve?" And he points to the board, and his name was up on the board. So it was a big surprise to all of us. And you know, after the one shift, you know, he only played 27 seconds. I know when he came back to the bench, he wanted to stay out there.
We tried to do something to just, you know, maybe take the guys' minds off, you know, worrying about everything and have them really happy to have me back. But I'm going to go away again for a little while. But you know, we'll get this thing straightened out. You know, it's a season where, you know, I think we came in with higher expectations of ourselves, and we haven't met them. But you know, it's not coming easy for us. We got to work through it. It's always, you know, been through it time and time again, and so everybody else, where it's going to come from within. You know, we don't want to look for outside help. We think we can get this thing turned around.
Well, now we know Michael Peca can keep a secret, but there will be no more cameos. We won't see him probably now until the 1st of December when he's ready to play. So no cameos tonight, just call-ups. The Islanders are making some changes to shake things up the old-fashioned way, and we'll take you through it. Trent Hunter, who we've seen before he started the season with the Islanders. Eric Manlow also getting the call-up, and Matt Winehandle, an original draft pick of the Islanders. So 3 new faces up from the Bridgeport Sound Tigers will be here to help the cause tonight. Peter Laviolette, familiar with Manlow from the Bruins organization, and Winehandle they liked a lot in training camp, and they will all 3 be here tonight. Hunter was 7 goals in only 8 games with the Sound Tigers. He has really played well since being sent back down. Manlow, bit of a surprise. The Islanders have to make room for these 3. Howie Rose will get the word from the coach on that, but we get some reaction from the call-ups who are glad to be here.
Feels great, you know. Anytime you get a chance to come up and play, that's your main goal in life, is to play in the NHL. So, you know, it's one of those things that you know, play as hard as you can down the minors, and if you get a chance, you make do with what you get.
I just went down and stayed positive and just worked hard every game. And I think I was playing with some good players down there, and we started to click, and we just worked hard as a line, and things really came for us.
A lot of familiar faces, and you know, the guys from camp I knew from growing up, a lot of the guys. So it makes a big difference coming up when you know a few guys and you play with a few guys compared to coming in and not knowing what you're getting into.
Behind the bench with Islanders coach Peter Laviolette, who wants so badly to turn things around that he's working in his sweats an hour and a half before the game. You're just trying to skate this streak into oblivion?
We're trying to change the luck here tonight. Different uniform might help.
Well, there are some players in different uniforms tonight. 3 kids called up from Bridgeport. We've seen Trent Hunter. We have not yet seen Matthias Winehandle nor Eric Manlow. Tell us about those 2, and are they all in the lineup?
Well, Winehandle is a new face for us, new to the organization. In talking with Steve Sterling, he was the brightest star, I guess, of the 3, with the other 2 being a close second. And the line was playing extremely well together. They were able to generate a lot of offense, I believe 14 points, 13 points, and 13 points in about 9 games. So they're playing pretty well as a group down there. Winehandle is a skilled player, great vision, great hands, and a good touch in the offensive zone. Manlow, I've had some past history with, a good, solid 2-way player. leading their team in scoring right now with 14 points, and just a very sturdy, skilled player, and we're just looking for a little spark from them.
All three are in?
All three will be in tonight, and I think we'll probably split them up and try them on different lines, but yeah, you'll see all three on the lineup.
Can you tell us yet who won't be in?
Well, I think Mapletop and Torres will probably be out tonight. Aaron Ashram won't be here with us tonight, and Ray Schultz also.
Is part of the plan in bringing these three kids up for tonight's game to send a message to the incumbents, and does that message get clouded when it's essentially kids that are being sat in their stead?
Well, that's a good point, and I think that they're not so much that we're trying to send a message, but we're going to put people in the lineup that we feel give us the best chance of winning. Mapletop and Torres get taken out tonight because of their inexperience and their being first-year players. But if we don't produce as a team, I was happy with the way they played, and they will go back in.
Is it conceivable they could be back in before even the end of the week?
Well, I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm going to wait, and we're going to hopefully win a big game tonight, and then we'll reevaluate in the morning. But right now, they're not with us, and they did a good job. We have a lot of confidence both in Rafi and Justin, and they came up here and did a good job for us, and I'm sure they'll be back at some point.
What concerns you most now about Calgary tonight?
Well, they're a hard-working team that competes for pucks. I remember the last time they came into our building, they came out and they outworked us pretty good in the first period. We went back and returned the favor up in their building, but they're a hard-working team that has to work hard every night in order to be successful. I think the big key for us is to match their work ethic.
And perhaps maybe some Islander hit-offs.
And it's brought on by Webb. Webb will work on Gauthier, who takes Webb in hard. And a good hit on Blake applied by Scott Nickel, number 40. And now Leopold uses the wall to clear the Calgary zone. Radek Martinic for Webb. A touch pass for Blake, delayed offside in effect. The Flames with a chance to get out, and they do, so they wipe the offside. Nickel ducked under a check from Webb. And Martinic back in his own zone. The teams begin a line change, 3:20 into the opening period. Dumped in by Hammerlick, fielded by McLennan. They've been for Wright. And Jamie Wright gets hemmed in along the boards by Hunter. Yell comes in, stick save there, and the rebound pushed wide by Clark. Now it's Tamander slapping it around the board.
Oh, you know, that's the one thing that's really surprised everyone. The offense that Stefan Yell is giving this team. I mean, everyone knew he was a very, very good defensive player those 7 years he spent with Colorado. But he has surprised people with his good offense and nearly had an assist there. We look at the scratches tonight. We talked about Roman Turek, and the other players are all healthy for Calgary. Those players down at the bottom, Torres and Mapletop, I think surprised a lot of people that they're not in the lineup. And there's a couple of different ways to look at this thing, you know, because the public, you know, the public sentiment that we got from the Islanders organization was that they're going to have a shakeup. And Peter Laviolette told me before the game, he said, you know, he says, I think this is the best lineup to win. And he says, and he's also sending a message that the players that were with him last year, he's given them another opportunity. I look at it a little bit differently. First of all, if you're gonna really shake a lineup up, don't take two kids that have been two of your hardest working kids and take them out of the lineup. And that's what they've done here. But the other thing that might be happening, and we've talked about this in the past, there's an awful lot of scouts that are coming to these games. Maybe they're keeping these players in the lineup to showcase someone for an upcoming trade.
That's what I think might be plan A here. Torres and Mapletop aren't just scratched for tonight's game. They've been sent down. They've been sent to Bridgeport.
Right.
Now, Bridgeport doesn't play for a couple of nights yet. They do not play again until Wednesday night. They left the building with their gear, and they're out of here. But it is conceivable. Peter Laviolette certainly would not elaborate when I asked him on the pregame show. And it's conceivable that either or both of them could be back with the Islanders by the time they play the Canadiens on Thursday night.
Well, the other thing is that he liked what those two players gave him. He liked their effort. He liked the way they played. He liked their contributions.
And neither had to clear waivers,
That's
by the
correct.
way, to go down to Bridgeport.
That's right.
Which I think might have been a part of this as well.
They only needed one roster spot, and they could have sent down Ray Schultz as well,
who is not dressed tonight.
Who is not dressed, and without putting him on waivers.
Yashin brings it in. Now Winehandle, a drive and a save made by McLennan. Good hard shot by Winehandle. So he gets his first National Hockey League shot.
Remember, he played with Yashin for quite a while in training camp, and they were pretty good together.
Long drive from the blue line. Taken by Lidman, steered aside by Snow. This is Lidman, the defenseman, back in the corner, drifting back into his position.
He has had a great start. Great start to this season. Lidman was good last year and has been even better this year. Can skate, can handle the puck, can shoot, does a lot of things.
Played 5:40 here in the opening period with no score. Matthias Tamander sweeps it back to the Calgary line. Peter Buzek, number 8. Bob Bugner, number 6 on defense for the Flames. And they go with Berube Nickel and Matthias Johansson wearing number 20 up front. Islanders have their line of LaPointe, Blake, and Webb together with Tamander on defense along with Eric Cairns. Chipped up the boards by Nickel, but not out. Berube steps into Blake, sends him flying. Eric Cairns yapping away at Berube. They may go. Meantime, the puck comes across the goal mouth while Cairns and Berube drop the gloves in the neutral zone. The whistle blows, and the linesmen are going to give Berube and Cairns a chance here.
Former teammates.
And Cairns with a couple of rights. Then Berube lands a big right hand. But Cairns gets the jersey over the shoulder. Berube trying to find Cairns now as Eric throws a couple of rights. And the linesmen, Kevin Collins and Lyle Seitz, intercede. Boy, Cairns got the first 2 in on Berube. A thunderous right from Craig Berube was more than answered by Eric Cairns.
Question regarding playing Michael Peca when he took everyone by surprise, and he, as he says there, puts it in the category of nice try. And it did not have the desired
Mark
effect.
Parrish not out on the first power play shift, nor is Sean Bates. Manlow pushes it in over the Calgary line. The goaltender McLennan finds some help behind the goal line. And it's Lidman who shoots it down the ice. Calgary has Drury up front on this penalty kill along with Wright. Gauthier on defense with Bugner. O'Coin fires it around the board. Drury and Manlow got there together. Winehandle helps out. Matthias Winehandle off the boards from Manlow. Now Yashin plays it softly ahead. O'Coin keeps it in. But the fluttering puck batted down and out by Wright. And the fans start to voice their displeasure.
And you could just see when you're not familiar with someone, as Yashin wasn't with those 2 players, he went to pass it one way, the players were going the other way, and it was an easy clear out of the zone for the Calgary Flames.
So now Bates and Parrish come on as Yashin leaves. Bates and Parrish playing with Trent Hunter. Nickel in watching Bates. O'Coin with a dump in. McLennan around the boards, pinched by O'Coin. Hunter to Bates. And now O'Coin with room. He fires, pad save, McLennan. Rebound to O'Coin. He centers, Hammerlick scores! Power play goal, and the Calgary lead is now 2-1.
The 2 veteran defensemen turn this around. Here's the shot by O'Coin. Good save, and O'Coin just follows it up. He gets some help from Parrish on the rebound, and then O'Coin just simply finds Hammerlick, who was aggressive coming in from the other side. There's the pass. Good shot. Just inside the post. Low and inside the post on the far side. Hammerlick brings the Islanders to within 1.
From the draw, the puck sent by Janssen into the Calgary zone. As Jelena brings it out. Just threw it at the net. And the Islanders tie it 2-2.
Now McLennan didn't see it. That high flip shot, and it was a little bit of a short hop that caused the turnover. It comes high in the air. Oh, here it is again. And watch the short hop coming up right there. And a misplay by Bugner on it, and then that shot from a bad angle. And the goaltender, McLennan, didn't see it. I think he just didn't see it as it just kind of sailed over his shoulder. And the shot by Alexei Ashen.
Well, the Islanders climb back into a 2-2 tie. Webb fires, and that missed on the glove side. Hustling is Cairns to drive one wide. Commander back at the blue line, throws it into net, kicked out by McLennan. 3:19 to go in the period. Islanders buzzing here. Back to the blue line, Cairns spins it behind the net. Lapointe overskated the bouncing puck. Webb just flattened Johansson. Centering feed broken up. Going to be a penalty here. It's going to be against the Flames. Booker is howling. The penalty called on the takedown of Lapointe. A delayed penalty. Now Snow gets to the bench. Extra skater for the Islanders. Nicholl steps hard into Blake. Webb on the puck. Islanders still controlling as Cairns fires it. Slapped away by Gauthier. And there's the whistle.
And I think 2 penalties are coming up against Calgary. The 2-0 game. Then the Islanders came back on the power play. The shot by O'Coin gets his own rebound. Now watch the pass. O'Coin, Hammerlick moving in from the other side, just inside the post. That made it a 2-1 game. Then the Islanders, it looked like they tied it. Watch the left skate right there of O'Coin. The puck goes into the net. It was ruled no goal, and it was kicked in. So the score remained 2-1. And the Islanders take advantage of a fair catch that was mishandled by Bugner. They turn that into a goal that the shot by Yashin was never seen from Jamie McLennan. That tied the game at 2 as we get ready for period. Chris Osgood was stuck watching that one go in the empty net. That's a good play by Markov, clearing the puck from the crease. That was a power play. And then the 5-on-3 power play. Markov has that shot. Good save by Chris Osgood. And then later on, the Islanders with some good forechecking. And coming from behind, Asham right there. Lifts the stick, gets that chance, and just misses on the short side. That's Chris Osgood. That made it 2-0. Now the Islanders a couple chances of themselves. Manlow with this opportunity. That's stopped by Theodore. And then this line has been pretty good tonight. Isbister going to the net hard. Asham to the net hard. Scatchard there as well. And Theodore is able to make 3 saves, and that's...
The Islanders did a pretty good job of doing themselves in. They were handed a total of 7 power play opportunities, but were unable to cash in on any. A fluke goal by Craig Rive midway through the first period also didn't help.
That sums up our season right there, that first goal. And then even at the end there when we had the empty net and we had every single guy staring down behind the net thinking the puck was down there, and they're going down a 2-on-1 with an empty net. It's just not going for us right now.
We can't seem to get the puck in the net. I know we had a lot of power play opportunities tonight, and we had 40-plus shots.
Islanders struggling at home, outscored 19-4 in 4 straight losses. Maybe a bit of a blessing in disguise for the Isles. Tommy Salo back between the pipes. He was pulled his last start over a minute in. A scramble in front. Salo goes down. He's frozen. Dave Scatchard bangs it home his 4th. It's 1-0 for the Isles. Isles also laying the body. Jason Weimer wallpapers Steve Staios. Staios had a tough game. Then the Isles go back on the offensive on a power play. Adrian Coyne wires it. It's 2-0 for the Isles in under 5 minutes. Craig McTavish left to wonder if Salo was the right choice. Staios, tough night. You can take a hit from Weimer, but you don't like Alexei Yashin giving you the business. On to the second period. More chippy play. Roman Hammerlick takes out Ethan Morrow, but he gets the last laugh because Hammerlick will get the deuce late in the period. Oilers finally get their feet moving. Staios feeds Ryan Smith. Osgood, Stone. Great glove save. The Oilers decide to use their heads. A little assistance from Adrian Coyne. He drills Mike York Mellon first. It was 3-0 Isles. We go to the third. Oil finally break the goose egg. The top line connects. Mike Comrie throws it in front to Smith. He scores. That's his 4th. That makes it 3-1. Just over 3 minutes left. Oil get a little closer. York, Jason Chimera, his 2nd. We got a 1-goal game, but it was way too little. It was a lot too late. The New York Islanders knock off the Edmonton Oilers tonight, 4-2 the final. The Isles win for the first time in 5 games at Nassau Coliseum. By the way, Eric Brewer did return to the Oilers lineup tonight after missing 2 games with a shoulder injury. Tommy Salo, the former Islander, falls to 1-2 against his old club.
In Hockeytown, Detroit. But right now, that seems like light years ago for Chris Osgood, the Islanders goaltender. A big reason why his team arrived for Friday's showdown versus Edmonton. Losers of 6 in a row. Guy who knows a thing or two about beating the Oilers in a big game upstairs, taking this one in. Let's take you to the Coliseum, and that is, yes, Billy Smith, Islander legend, Hall of Famer, and current Islander goaltending coach. Game just 84 seconds old. How about that second and third effort? Dave Scatchard, Doug, Isbister with the assist, and the Islanders in the early going have a 1-0 lead over Edmonton. Later in the first, Sean Bates, Islander power play. Adrian Aucoin is at the point. He winds, he fires, and catches Twine. 2-0 Isles on top. Alexei Yashin, first period in particular, was rather ornery.
What?
And Yashin, with rare rough stuff from the Islanders' marquee player. Ornery, I said, with Oilers defenseman Steve Stais. Later in the first, and a chance for Tard Marchot. Chris Osgood with the big save. Sign of things to come. 3:19 into the second. Scatchard again. Second of the game. Isbister set him up. 3-0 Isles on top. And how sharp was Chris Osgood, who needed desperately a good game to lift his spirits and that of the Islanders. Ryan Smith in. The chance dies in Ozzy's glove. One more look. Perhaps the sharpest of his 31 saves on the night. And the streak is over. Islanders go on to beat Edmonton by the final of 4-2. Dave Scatchard has come to play this year, really right from the opening bell. 2 goals on the night gives him 5 for the year. Bates with his 3rd of the year plus an assist, just the Islanders' 4th win of the season. And good things and good feelings for the Islander coach, Peter Laviolette.
Big monkey off our back. This is it's been a tough stretch of games, the last 5 or 6 games, and haven't got any bounces, and you know, been a tough time in the locker room, a lot of adversity and a lot of things we had to address, and you know, we've been playing a lot of good hockey in the last few games, just hadn't been getting the break, so it's nice to finally get a win.
And I think it's what's important, like we got a very quick first goal, and it seems like we've been going hard, and like past games we couldn't get this first goal or second goal, you know, like kind of keep a distance, so it seems like we did it today, and it's great. It's a great team effort.
It was nice to get some goals and get a lead for once and not be really battling from behind or just trying to stay in the game.
Energy level was good, especially in the first period tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
Save percentage 888. Osgood has been bad, 4.29 goals against. Chris's save percentage 806, but of course his teammates in front of him have not been playing very well either. Early, he has a lead, 2-0. And I think the best part of goaltending is to take the other team's stick away, Ray.
It's very difficult to score without it because they don't let you kick it in anymore.
It's a very savvy move by Osgood. Meanwhile, Scatchard's having a night. Dave, 2nd of the evening, 5th of the year, off to a good start. Isles up 3-0. 3rd period, Eric Brewer, and Chris Osgood was very strong. His A game, maybe his best game of the year, EJ?
I would think so. I saw him the last couple of games. Has been good. Tonight, much better.
All right, the Isles snap a 6-game losing streak, 2 for Scatchard, a coin and a Bates empty netter for the Islanders. Smith and Chimera for the Oilers, 31 saves for Osgood. Edmonton has just 2 wins in their last 11 games. All right, Brad Isbister, good game, +3, 2 assists, played just 13:40. Is this a guy the Isles are considering trading? Big body, young, you think some teams would have some interest?
Yeah, there are teams with interest, John, and they've thought about trading him for a while now, and, you know, Mike Milbury's a little hesitant about doing so. You see a guy, 6'4", 230 pounds, he's a monster out there. He should have impact every night, a guy like that, and yet I went to see them against the Blues, against the Flames. You barely knew he was on the ice. Tonight he did have impact down there. You know, another reason Milbury's got to be a little careful with trading a guy like that is we saw what's happened with Todd Bertuzzi. You know, I'm not saying that Brad Isbister can be another Todd Bertuzzi, but, I mean, he could develop into a much better player. He scored 20-plus goals one year. This guy could get 25, 30 goals and be a factor because of his size. So, you know, I think he's a little hesitant about that, but at some point, if he's not more consistent, he's going to have to move him on and try to get somebody else in there to help out.
Yeah, 3 years ago, 22 goals, then 18, and then 17, 3 so far this year. Okay, moving on, let's go to the first period.
Oh, you think of the penalties the Islanders have taken in this first period. One was roughing, one was high sticking, and the other one was a cross-check from behind. I mean, 2 stick fouls and a punch. Those are bad penalties against a team that is this skilled.
Darian Hatcher tries to drive it around the boards. Martinic first to get it in the corner. Hey! Hammerlick unable to get it up the board. But Martinic just throws one that winds up in the Islander bench. So we get a whistle with 57 seconds left on the penalty to Scatchard.
I talked to Peter Laviolette before the game about this man right here, Radek Martinic, and he says, yeah, he's not to where he was a year ago, but he said, I see him better than he was 2 weeks ago. And he said, I have to keep playing him. I have to let him gain that confidence and get his game back.
Hamrlik dumps it down the ice, or at least into the neutral zone. Blocked from going all the way down by Sador, who initiates the Dallas dump in. And now Turgeon takes it away from Hamrlik. Guerin to Sador. Zubov couldn't hold it, and here comes Bates. Sean Bates driving to the net, shorthanded. He scores! The Islanders tie it 1-1.
Well, they needed a spark.
And for Sean Bates, his second shorthanded spark of the year.
That pass from Sador was too hard for Zubov to handle. And what a goal. And Sador really fires it over. That's a hard pass, and Zubov was kind of going one way and had to try and corral that hard pass. Too hard, and then Bates with that shot. Great shot, and the shorthanded goal gives this team some life. They tie it. It's been a period mostly dominated by the Dallas Stars, but the Islanders are hanging in there with 3 minutes to go in a 1-1 game.
Fourth of the year for Sean Bates. And 23 seconds still to the Dallas
Talking
power.
about Boston, Tampa Bay's off to a great start. They lost in overtime last night to the Chicago Blackhawks, 3-2. But Jocelyn Thibault, the Chicago goaltender, was terrific. 13 power plays for Tampa Bay last night. They scored on 2 of them.
Commander a drive, save made, rebound, applied by Ashen, who got clipped. And there's going to be another penalty to the Stars. Gavasha throws it at the net. Turco knocked it away. I think Gavasha just wanted to get that to a Star. Might as well give it up here.
Give it up. He tries to there, but they're not touching it. They're not touching it. A lot of times just throw it at the goaltender.
That's what he did first.
Yeah. And his thinking was correct. And it was Asham that got hit with the high stick. I believe it was Matt Tkachuk. I got him with the high stick. Rob Schick was the referee that was in the neutral zone that saw it. The other referee, Mark Fawcett, was down on the other side. And there it is right there. The high stick by Matt Tkachuk. You've got to control your stick. And so now the Islanders with a great opportunity. And this is a 1-1 game, and it's been a dominating performance by Dallas.
Islanders win the draw, set up the 5-on-3 for 27 seconds. Yashin to Hamrlik, back to Yashin, he shoots, loose in front, Manlow scores! A power play goal for Eric Manlow. The Islanders take a 2-1 lead for Manlow. It is his second National Hockey League goal and his first as a New York Islander.
Right from the face-off, they control it. Now look at the passing and the shot. Turco with that save, I believe it was deflected on the way in, and Manlow was on the other side just waiting for it. Parrish is in front, as he always is. Yeah, it hit a couple of players, including the Dallas player up high. Looked like it hit him in the face. And then Manlow just redirected over to Manlow, who put it in. His wife and 2 young girls are watching this from Niagara Falls. They were in Bridgeport, Howie, and they went to Niagara Falls to be with her family while Eric was being recalled. And so they're watching this today, and I'm sure there's a lot of smiles in that household.
It is his first National Hockey League goal. Eric Manlow getting it on the power play, which came before the draw there with LaPointe. Now 3 points away from 1,000 in the NHL. Dono just got back on Jason Blake. Manlow recovers, shoots, save made, rebound Blake, he scores! All of the hard work of Jason Blake finally rewarded. Islanders lead it 3-2.
Now this is a play where the Stars player brings it back into his own zone. That's why there's no offside. See, it bounces off the Stars player, Mike Modano. And then Jason Blake, and if you're talking about a player that deserves a goal in this game, it's that man right there, Jason Blake. Again, Mike Modano had trouble controlling it, brought it back into the zone, bounced off his stick. Manlow had one chance. Blake ends up with the rebound, and the Islanders retake the lead at 3-2.
2-point game now for Manlow. Turco a stick save there. Blake
And then
had
it
quick
goes back
shots
in the
on
zone. That negates the offside. One chance, and then Blake goes for the rebound. So Manlow ended up with the puck, took the shot, Turco the save, and Blake hustling for the rebound, puts it in.
It took just a minute and 51 seconds for the Islanders to get back to the Islanders zone. Won by LaPointe from Modano. Jason Blake whips it around the board. Manlow got it out of the zone. Modano has a little trouble with it under pressure from Manlow. Eric Manlow having his best game in the National Hockey League. Gollin checked by LaPointe. Dono and Hammerlick tussle. Gollin, good feed to Young, and a kick save by Osgood. Maybe his biggest save of the game on a quick one-timer by Scott Young. Islanders ice the puck, 8:12 remaining in the third as Osgood comes up big again.
That was a great save by Chris Osgood. A great save. Good puck movement. It's Gollin again with the pass. And Young has an excellent shot, and Young can't buy one. His 16th game now and hasn't scored a goal. Can stop everything.
Peter Laviolette said he wanted to give him a string of games to get back into it. The last couple have been good. Modano to Young. He shoots. Left save by Osgood. With 5:52 to go in the third.
And there you see what he's been doing as of late. Very, very good.
If he wins, it would be his 258th lifetime, tying Ken Dryden. Dryden's 31st all time. Osgood's playing in his 10th year in the NHL. Ken Dryden only played 7 full seasons.
And that's Blake, and he's driving them all crazy. Look at this play. He was the only forechecker, and he took the puck away. And the people here appreciate his effort tonight. There he is again. Forces them to turn it back.
That's about 20 seconds that the puck stayed in the Dallas zone, preventing Turco from getting out. We're now into the final minute, and the puck's still in the Dallas zone. And Turco's still in net. Now he edges out as Modano comes through center. Turco to the bench. Extra skater on for the Dallas Stars. Their net is empty. Hammerlick has the puck. Shoots it off the glass. Isbister got it back. Now to Blake. Mason Blake looked like he closed his hand on that puck.
He stick handled 3 times with the puck in his glove.
Meantime, it sits along the far boards with only 30 seconds to go. Zubov for Dallas. Cross ice feed to Dolan. In over the line, off Dolan to the slot. Zubov checked by Isbister. Good play by Izzy. Down to 19 seconds to go. Dolan hit by Weimer behind the net. Jason Weimer got it towards the corner, then shoots it out of the zone. 10 seconds to go. Rolling towards the empty net. Isbister after it. Young prevents him from finishing, but it doesn't matter. Only 4 seconds remain. Mike Modano in center throws it at Osgood, who fittingly makes the save as the buzzer sounds. Blake with the game winner, and Chris Osgood has done what the Islanders have wanted him to do all season, and what he did so many times last year. He stole him a hockey game.
Mr. October comes up with a great November game. Chris Osgood was absolutely spectacular, and the reason why the Islanders are able to skate off the ice right now with 2 points. Dallas threw 40 shots at him. And Jason Blake up front for the Islanders was the best skater. And look at the effort. I mean, Jason Blake, he's the only forechecker. All those Dallas Stars players. And he stayed with it, kept it in, kept going. Loses his stick there. And what an ovation he got from this crowd for that effort. And then he stays in the play. He looked to the bench. Look at it, he keeps looking at the bench. And they're saying, no, stay on the ice. We need you on the ice. You've been one of the best today. Stay out there. And then what an effort as he continues this. Stopped it. Little stick handle there.
Who's at the game, Ray? That's Ty Domi. It looks like in a Mets uniform. That's a huge noggin. Orange on a toothpick, Booch.
First period, no score. Star power play. Lettinen makes it 1-0 Dallas. Isles haven't beaten a team this year with a winning record. Last year, a lot of these shorthanded goals. Sean Bates does it again. He ties the game at 1. Injury for the Isles, Dave Scatchard. Keep an eye on his left heel.
Here's his Mr. throwing it at the net.
Oh, that hurt, Ray?
Yeah, that hurts. There's not much back there in the way of protection, and Scatchard went for x-rays and then did not return.
That's right. He's been, of course, in the middle of one of the few Islander lines that's been productive and strong. Now 5-on-3 for the Isles in the second. Eric Manlow. I write the songs. First NHL goal, Ray. Keep your eye on Hatcher.
Yeah, slap shot from the point. You just love this if you're in front of the net. Right off the side of Hatcher's head. Manlow puts it in. Look, it looks like he's fine there and no damage.
He'd be okay. Easy for me to say. I'm wearing makeup. Third period, 2-2. Modano, no. It deflects in the zone. Manlow shot. Offensive rebound. Jason Blake, one of Parm's favorite players in the league.
A lot of spunk today. Played very well. Here, Ulf Dallin finds Scotty Young in the slot. Osgood makes a great save. Another pass out to Scott Young, who's snake bit this year with no goals so far. Chris Osgood was fantastic in goal and leads the Islanders to their win.
Yeah, they've won 2 games in a row for the first time this year. They beat a team with a winning record for the first time this year. Again, they give up a lot of shots, but really for the second straight game, Osgood wins the game for the Islanders.
Senators on Schaefer's first goal. Midway through the second, Islanders finally get on the board on the power play. Sean Bates, Adrian Aucoin. From one knee, he one-times it past Prusek. Aucoin's 4th of the year, 3-1 after 2. Now keep your eye on the man in the crease on his knees.
Gary Fraser now blows his whistle, I believe, because the net had been loosened. And I don't know what they're going to call here. They could call a goal.
Well, you know what? Gary Fraser, I think, might be thinking that the puck went in, and then when the net came up, that the puck went underneath. They're gonna review this thing. I mean, Curtis Lecision, I believe, was the defenseman that was in the crease. And the goaltender here, he makes a mistake. He comes out. That's a great job by Scatchard getting the puck. And watch coming in right there. Where's it go? Is that in the net? I mean, Curtis Lecision is number 7. And let's see where the puck goes as Isbister keeps going. There you see the net. Oh, yeah, the puck is in. That puck went in the net. Now the question is, the other question, was the net up off the moorings at the time?
Well, before Lecision got into the picture, that post had been up off of the mooring.
Yeah.
It hadn't been disconnected from it, but it had been loosened.
This is going to be an interesting call. There's no question that the puck was in the net. But the question is, was the net up off the ice?
Gary Fraser is explaining it. And now he's going to skate over towards... There's going to be a penalty shot. Was it Lecision who covered his hand on it?
I believe so, yes.
And they're going to say that Curtis Lecision, the defenseman, covered the puck in the goal crease.
But you know what? He looked like he covered his hand on the puck when the puck was in the net. Didn't it?
Well,
didn't it look like the puck went in the net, and then he reached in with his hand and pulled the puck out of the net with his hand?
I didn't get a good look at it only because Lecision, to me, was obscuring my view as to where the puck was at the time. But they say that he smothered it in the goal crease, so Dave Scatchard will take a penalty shot. His first career penalty shot. If he scores, it'll bring the Islanders to within 1. 3-1 Ottawa. Scatchard in alone on a penalty shot. Dave Scatchard denied by a big save from Martin Prusek.
What a save by Prusek at a critical time of this game. Scatchard just tries to beat him with the wrist shot up high. And Prusek just held his ground. Watch, he tries the quick wrist shot up high. And Prusek was there to get a piece of it and to keep this a 3-1 game. Here's the play again. Now Lecision reaches down with his hand. Does he have his hand on? There's the puck, goes in the net.
Now, he had his hand on it earlier.
He had his hand on it earlier, but I'm not sure he had control of it. Obviously, that's what they rule.
Well, and the Islanders got the Van Allen goal back in 1 minute. Actually, 59 seconds.
Now, you know, Isbister went down on the ice. He was tripped down, and they just stayed with it. He gets back up. Now watch Scatchard attempt one pass and comes back to him, and then he puts it over to the other side again for Asham. So the one pass to Asham goes off a skate, and Scatchard stays with it. Once there, and then again over on the other side, and Asham just waited for it and put it in. And so the Islanders respond. Still plenty of time left in this game, 13:38. And they respond with the goal to make it a 2-goal game again.
Asham's second goal, his first was an empty netter. So Aaron Asham beats Brusek, and the Islanders back to within 2. Let's see if this gets the crowd going again. Hammerlick's shot was blocked by Wade Phillips. Chris Phillips. And it's Martinic back at the Islander line. Wade Phillips always had a good defensive box too. Yeah. It's going to be a full-service operation.
At least he didn't say Bunk Phillips. Daddy.
Facing Houston Oilers. Quite sing for the Texans yet. Zdeno Chara backhands one that winds up in the crowd with 12:54 remaining in the third period.
Catching with the bad heel. He's come back and he's put in a gritty performance. He has played hard. His Bister seemed to injure himself, but he's back in the third.
Marian Hossa in the corner. And now is Bister. Waited a little too long, and Hossa was able to get it back. And that shot by Schaefer is held by Osgood. Let's go back and get a look at our Islanders moment for tonight, brought to you by Mohegan Sun. Islanders trying to win in this building against the Senators for the first time in almost 7 years on a night when Zygmunt Coffey beat Mike Bales. So did Matthew Schneider. And Travis Green with the 5th goal of that game. The Islanders would win 5-4. Since then, the Ottawa Senators have controlled things in this building. Islanders 0-9-3-1 since then. Off the post and in. Eric Manlow scores. And it's 4-3 Ottawa.
Ottawa is unsure whether that was in or not. The Islanders caused a turnover, and the shot by Manlow seemed to hit a stick and go up high. It almost looked to me like it hit a crossbar and then the post. There's the turnover again. Let's see. Off the stick.
Whoa. Carey Fraser
That might have hit the post and come straight down.
That's what it looked like. Now, Carey Fraser was emphatically pointing underneath the crossbar to say, I saw it go in there. And the only thing that can change here is if the video goal judge were to call down. Because it didn't look like Carey wanted to voluntarily go upstairs, did it?
Well, no, you know, here's the other thing. From a physics standpoint, you very rarely see a puck hit the post and go straight down. And that looked like it hit the post and went straight down. I mean, it was a funny bounce, which indicates that maybe something else happened there.
Carey Fraser thought it was a goal right away. He was pointing under the crossbar.
Yeah, it might have gone inside and hit that, but we didn't see the netting move either. Sometimes the netting moves, and here's a look at the overhead. The shot is redirected on the way in. Oh, you know what?
It looked like a winner right in the corner there.
Did it?
Well,
I thought it was crossbar, post, and down. Oh, it is a goal.
See, the other thing that worked there, and this is almost the opposite of what we usually see, is you had to get conclusive proof from that shot that the puck did not go into the net because Carey Fraser called it a goal. Fraser said goal all the way.
Yeah, good point.
And so he had to wait to hear from upstairs whether they wanted to look at it. And then when they did, they supported the evidence.
Jacques Martin's confused. Remember, he's got somebody upstairs on the headset.
Well, it's now a one-goal game.
Yeah, plenty of time, 11:20 to go.
And Brad Isbister starts ahead. Isbister into the Ottawa zone, now for Lapointe. Claude Lapointe tried to put it in front. It hit Chara. Chara's got it.
The NHL now, and this time it's not a cameo. Tonight on TSN, Islander captain Mike Peca makes his full return to New York's lineup against the Bruins in Boston. Earlier in the month, you may recall, Peca came back for a shift, a stunt designed to pick up a sagging team. Even now, he's still ahead of schedule after a devastating knee injury last spring in the first round of the playoffs. To the Fleet Center we go live and join Gord Miller with more in tonight's game. Gord.
All right, thanks very much, Rod. Nice to see you again. Mike Peca's got the captaincy on again for the Islanders, and this time it's not window dressing. He is back for real, and the Islanders hope they see the real Mike Peca very soon because they desperately need him. Well, in addition to that knee operation, Rod, that you talked about, Michael Peca also had shoulder surgery in the summer, so it's double rehab for him. But the question remains, is he back because the Islanders need him so desperately? He insists that's not the case. He's back because he's physically ready.
Medical history has to sort of take precedent early on, and they're saying that it's got to be at least 6 months for both. And you know, where we're at 6 months for the shoulder, but 5.5 months on the knee. And you know, really the knee has been amazing. I thought it would have been a lot tougher of a process, and even though you go through some pain and discomfort early, the rehab process was a lot easier than I thought. So things went real well, and we were able to kind of, you know, scoot the day up, you know, little by little. It seemed like on a weekly basis.
Back here with TSN hockey analyst Pierre McGuire. How long should we expect to have to wait before we see the real Mike Peca?
Right away, I really believe that. We're talking to Michael Peca today. You got the feeling that he wouldn't be coming back if you weren't ready to play. The other thing is, New York Islanders are starting a 5-game road trip. He is their identity. He's what makes that team go. And they are in desperate straits right now to get wins. So they need Michael Peca to be great. The other thing about it, Michael Peca will hold Alexei Yashin accountable. Alexei Yashin is -9 right now for the New York Islanders. That's not nearly good enough. So you really got to expect Michael Peca to be an impact player for the Islanders right away.
Well, talk about coming back against a tough team. The Boston Bruins can make a case.
Okay, thanks. We will go behind the bench right now with New York Islanders head coach Peter Laviolette, who has someone on his bench as well as on the ice tonight that he's been waiting all year for. What will the return of Michael Peca mean to this team, Peter?
Well, it's obviously going to be a boost for us. You know, I think his presence in the locker room and on the ice will make us a better team. Alone, just that alone, he'll make us a stronger team. You know, I'm not sure where he's going to be at. It's his first game back, and you know, we're not sure how many minutes we're going to give him or what situations we're going to put him in. It's been a long time since he's played a game, and you know, there's a history of not being 100% as soon as you get back. So we're going to work him in slowly. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he jumps right in and he doesn't miss a beat, but we can't be sure of that right now. So we'll just we'll go slow with them and work him back into the lineup.
Now, although you're not sure, I know for at least a little while this morning he was with Bates and Parrish, his line mates from last year. In a perfect world, is that your plan going into tonight, to slot him there and play him the whole way?
Well, if we may put him there again. I don't know how many minutes he'll play. You know, based on how he feels, because I don't. There's no situation like an actual game situation. But right now he's slated to play some with them, and in the long run, I think maybe that's where it's penciled out to be. But again, we'll make decisions as we go. He'll probably start there tonight, and we'll see how the game progresses.
Do you have any apprehensions on a personal level? Because however fit he may appear to be, all along you guys had been saying early December, does it make you the least bit concerned when you see him tonight?
Well, I think when somebody comes back from an injury, injuries, I should say, of this magnitude, there's always a chance that you could re-injure. They say that actual 100% healing doesn't take place for over a year, and but yet everybody comes back in 4 or 5 months. Our doctors, who have been terrific all year and who we have a lot of confidence in, have told us that he's cleared to play. He's been taking physical contact since November 1st. He's been practicing with the team since October 1st and has been on the ice since before training camp. So it's been probably over 5 months now since he's had the surgeries, and we're looking forward to getting him back in there and working him in.
Yesterday at practice, you're doing 3-on-3s, and you tell the guys who are lined up against him, hit him. And he winds up throwing the first hit at Jason Weimer. Did that tell you right there he's ready?
Well, it wasn't a big pop or a big hit, but it certainly was something to catch the other players' attention, and then they started hitting him back.
Don't
I think
tell
maybe
the whole story. Certainly they do, as you look towards the bottom of your screen in the recent past. The fact that he's only played that one shift this year, and remember, it's not only the knee, it's also the shoulder that's had him out for the entire season. Michael has been more than kind to join us just right now, in fact, as the Islanders get ready to take the ice. Michael, we certainly appreciate you being with us just prior to game time.
You can see
Do
I'm
you
obviously
feel
in the
any
way.
differently, Michael, about this game than perhaps you have approaching any other game you've ever played?
You know what, I really don't. You know, I've kind of been focused on the middle of this month to be ready, and you know, I'm just approaching it like you know, like I had any other game before.
Now, do you expect to be able to take a regular shift and play what would be your normal complement of minutes tonight?
That's the game plan. You know, obviously we'll play it as we go along, but you know, I feel really good, and we'll see what happens.
Again, we really appreciate you coming on with us right now. Thanks so much, and good luck. Michael Peca back with the Islanders, which means plenty.
The one real
Joe
big
Micheletti.
issue is that Alexei Yashin might be better because Pekka's back in the lineup and gives him a little bit of room and a little bit of time to do some other things.
And of course, you know, what Michael Peca is able to do will be somewhat of a mystery to this point, because you just don't know whether or not the knee and the shoulder are going to be strong enough. But the plan right now is for him to go back where he was last year with Sean Bates and Mark Parrish.
Now, when you look at Bates and Parrish, you know, first of all, with Parrish, he's the type of player that needs the puck. You've got to get him the puck because he's a terrific goal scorer. And playing with Yashin, he wasn't getting the puck much because Yashin's more of a shooter than he is a passer. So that gives Parrish, I think, more hope. Peca also...
Oh, we're just happy for him. We've seen how hard he's been rehabbing and everything like that. And, you know, he's been ready to go for a while, I think. And it's been killing him just to be sitting there watching. But I think they wanted to give it enough time to make sure everything's okay, and it is now. So it's good to have him back.
It's obviously a big lift for us to have a guy like Michael Peca come back. Not only just his leadership, but his game as well. His big two-way game he has, and you know, obviously not one guy can correct this ship, but he's certainly going to help.
Not only will Peca help, but so will Kenny Janssen as he makes his return as well. And Bruins will meet 4 times this season. Michael Peca, hopefully, will be able to play in all 4 of them. Tonight, the goaltending matchup is brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. And Chris Osgood, who has been so good for the Islanders over the last few games, getting back into the swing that he was in last year, although it's still a body of work. It's a work in progress, really, for Osgood. And John Graham will be the goaltender for the Boston Bruins, as Paul Stewart lives in this area, along with Tim Peel, the referees. Kevin Collins and Don Henderson are the linesmen. The Islanders start with Yashin, Kavasha, and Isbister up front. Janssen and O'Coin on defense. And the Bruins have their big line out there of Joe Thornton, number 19, Glenn Murray, number 27, and they also have Matt Hearn, number 63, playing his first game with the Bruins up front. Before we go any further, though, what are the keys to this game, Joe? We know they're brought to you by Hyundai.
Well, first and foremost, Howie, this is a team that's got to get off to a much better start than lately, and their special teams have to improve. Their penalty killing has got to get better, and they need a game where they shut somebody down on the penalty killing, and their power play needs to start contributing a few more goals.
Now the Bruins keep the Thornton line out there, and Peter Laviolette is changed up. Michael Peca is on with Parrish and Bates. As the puck is iced by the Bruins, they'll bring it all the way back into the Boston zone.
You know, Michael Peca told me before the game, and I asked him how he was feeling. He says, you know, I feel good. He said, I'm going to have to remind myself, though, in this game, to be patient. He says, I know that practicing all the time and the pace is probably going to be a little bit quicker. I'm going to have to do things at a higher pace. He said, but I'm going to try and tell myself to be patient with my game.
And from the draw, Peca swings the puck to the corner to Mark Parrish. Around now towards Bates. O'Coin thought about pinching, decided not to as the puck came up the boards. And Herr from Boston springs Thornton into the Islanders zone. Can't get through the defense. And Osgood leaves it for Peca, who immediately is hit by Herr. Thornton grabs it back, feeds the slot. Murray snaps it wide. And Mark Parrish dumps it all the way down. And that one curls into the Boston bench. So no further play. 5 on play, 3 time off. Half a minute remaining to that. The Islanders with 2 defensemen, Janssen and O'Coin, and Bates the lone forward. Boston plays it hard across. O'Coin fights for position. Stumple in to help out, but he gives it away under pressure. And Janssen sends it out of the zone.
Well, that's a good, strong play by Adrian O'Coin. Just a strong, tough play that allowed Janssen to pick up the puck.
Murray brought it in offside with 10 seconds left to the penalty on Mander and 1:32 to go to the Hammerlick penalty.
And the Bruins are going to change lines now. This is excellent penalty killing and the early going by the Islanders. And how much is Peter Laviolette going to use Michael Peca? How about a 5-on-3, Michael? Can you handle that? Sure, I'll give it a try.
He'll test his wheels out anyway, huh?
Yeah.
Ryan Berard sweeps the puck in behind the Islander goal. O'Coin lost it to Hummel. And now Axelson finds McInnes in the corner. Minute 18 now to the 5-on-4 as Tamander is back on the ice. And back in center, it's Gerard. Berard on the move now. Ryan Berard, good move on the point. Van in the slot, backed up, and recovered by Axelson. Now to Berard, he shoots, saved by Osgood, who juggles and holds.
Now, Brian Berard's flying, isn't he? I mean, he is flying. And this system of the Boston Bruins, they love their defensemen to get involved in the play. I mean, it's a power play now, but even strength. And look at the wheels, look at the move here, but then a good defensive play right there. Kenny Janssen, nice job with the stick. And then Berard will get it back on the play by Axelson. And Osgood gets over there in perfect position and lets the puck hit him.
Now somebody's going to get tossed. Thornton and Bates, the original face-off men, and now Thornton is asked to leave, so Stumple will take the draw, which is won by Bates and cleared by O'Coin. So 52 remain to the Bruins power play.
Now the other thing about Peca killing penalties is that he's such a smart defensive player, which is a reason why he wins that Selke trophy every now and then as the league's best defensive player. Just his smarts and positioning alone will help this penalty killing.
He won it last year, second time in his career, having won it once before with Buffalo. And now Bates with plenty of time here. Plays it softly ahead. 24 seconds remain to the Bruins power play.
Yeah, and that's been part of the problem with the Islanders penalty killing, is their inability to just clear the puck out of their own zone.
Ryan Berard waits along the boards several times up the middle. Ill-advised situations, as you've outlined. It's wound up in the Islander net. Now Thornton feeds the point. Gerard with a drive, stick save by Osgood. Hammerlick back on the ice, so the Islanders kill the time. They were down 2 men for 38 seconds. 3:47 remaining in the first period. Access over the course of, at least if you prorate it over the course of a game, that's just about 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he'll get more than twice that much when he's back full strength.
Maybe more than that. If some of the other players don't start going again. Now this was a start by the Islanders.
And a good start to the period. They're going to get a power play as Yashin was pulled down. So the Islanders will start out after 17 seconds of play. A man up. Well, let's look at our Tri-State Consumer Auto Insurance quote book.
Yeah, the lucky sevens. Yeah, he's going to put those. Somebody asked him the question about putting them back with the lucky sevens, and you see if they score 3 goals. You know, that's fine.
So the draw deep in the Boston zone with the Islanders looking to get something going with a man advantage here. They've scored power play goals for the last 3 games in a row. That puck leaves the playing surface, and so they'll bring it back 11 seconds into a power play that features Roman Hammerlick on the point with Adrian O'Coin and those lucky sevens playing up front.
Yeah, you know what Peter Laviolette did? I mean, that penalty was taken about 20 seconds into the penalty, and he took the Yashin line off the ice and came back with this line for the power play, and Peca wins the faceoff.
O'Coin gets it to Bates. John Bates along the goal line to Parrish. Peca dumped, turned around. He's a little slow to get up. Hobbling a bit as he holds onto the puck briefly behind the net. Now the concern is for Peca flexing his knee. O'Coin a drive, a save made. Peca's trying to edge towards the bench. The Islanders are on the power play, and Peca's instinct right there was to get off. Now, I'm not even going to speculate on exactly what happened in terms of where he might have gotten it.
Flexing his right leg, Howie.
The other one, right?
That's right. Now he's hurting. You got the stick got caught. The stick got caught in his right skate. Twisted him around a little bit.
And he is still wincing over on the Islander bench.
He broke his stick over the boards as he got there. 56
seconds remains on the Islander power play. Isbister working along the boards. Now to Yashin. They crisscross. Yashin holding the puck. Finds Isbister, who goes to Bates in the corner, but he flubs the pass. And Bates might have caught something in a rut there, because Bates is skating over to the bench, and I don't know if it was his skate. He just slammed his stick on top of the dasher boards as well. Did you see, was it his skate that caught it?
I'm not sure. I was looking at the bench at Peca, who has still not sat down on the bench. He still remains on his seat. Now he's doing some deep knee bends, kind of behind the bench in the runway a little bit, testing out that knee.
We don't mean to take your focus away from the play you see in front of you, but this is really significant stuff when you consider all of the elements involved in his return to the lineup tonight. But we're kind of watching the ice with one eye and the bench with the other. The important thing is that the knee he's flexing is not the knee which required the surgery after the Darcy Tucker hit. This is his right knee.
Yeah, and the left knee, he's got a brace on the left knee which required the surgery, and he will watch the stick right there in the skate blade. Oh man, and that just twists them. Total accident. It was Axelson's stick that got him there, and you could just see he wanted to turn to his left, and Axelson was kind of turning to the right with the stick. And again, he will wear a brace on the surgically repaired knee for at least a year. And then it'll be his choice as to whether he wants to continue to wear a brace or not.
Can you venture any kind of a guess? We never like to speculate, but just in the most generic terms, what something like that play might have produced in his knee? I mean, is it something that could be, you know, just shrugged off in a couple of minutes?
It could be. I mean, it's so hard to speculate on things like that, Howie. Sometimes you can feel a pop in the knee, and sometimes that just goes away. It's not as serious as you might think. There you see the damage to the stick afterward, but he stayed on the ice and tried to play through it. And you could see him just continually flexing the right knee and the right leg as he was going off.
Well, he's still standing on the bench as Asham has it poked off of his stick by Sweeney. Michael Peca has stayed with his teammates. I don't think he's sat down yet. He's got his gloves back on as Asham curls to the corner. Now the crisscross with Weimer. Asham still with it, throws it at the net. Save made, but there's going to be a penalty here. And it might be to Sketcher for taking Sweeney down. Now Michael will try it. That's a good sign. I think he just nodded like it's okay. Kavasha, they went offside. So they'll bring it back. 4:55 into the period. Chris Osgood driven to the bench after that power play goal by the Bruins. Checking his finger out.
You know what? I think he pulled Chris Osgood here just to try and wake up his team. I mean, Chris Osgood was pretty good in this game. I mean, he made some good saves. I mean, you know, the rebound, giveaway, you know, on the breakaway goal that's off the post and in. I mean, this is a team that, you know, the Islanders can't make it. They can't keep making those types of mistakes and expect to be in games. Offensive zone penalties, you know, poor penalty killing, and then having some players that aren't contributing.
Kavasha from a sharp angle. Still not seen Michael Peca come back from the Islander room, nor have we heard any specific word as to what the initial diagnosis is.
And Rich Campbell is on the Islander bench. And if he was in there getting taped up or getting some support of any kind on that, what we think is a knee, and it might be something else, but we think it's a knee, and Rich Campbell would probably be in there. So the sign right now is that Michael Peca certainly won't be back for this period, and probably won't be back for the game.
You know, it's about as fluky a play as you can get, right?
Yep.
Stick ends up in the skate blade.
That just doesn't happen very often. I mean, the chances of that happening are so slim.
Sends it all the way down. The Islanders need something here.
Yeah, no,
they're as flat as it gets.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing. And watching this, to me, you know, it's a game. I'm thinking you can't let the Bruins stay in this comfort zone because they're very, very comfortable in the way the game is being played right now. And the Islanders need to do something to change this game around, and Michael Peca's back on the bench.
There it is. There's your revenge.
Yeah.
So maybe when Rich Campbell left him, all he had to do was get all his stuff back on. No, really, all we could do is guess and speculate, but certainly it's an excellent sign that he's come back to the bench and apparently is going to come back on the ice. shake of the head, the slam of the door, and back to the Islander dressing room goes Michael Peca. Sean Bates with a shot stopped by Graham. So just as we left for commercial, Peca decided to test it.
It's sad, isn't it? When you look at that, I mean, all the work to come back and play, and then they come up with a different injury.
All you could hope is that it's nothing at all of a serious nature, whatever it is, that just a couple of days perhaps so he can come back. But you know, for someone as competitive and as tough a player as he is, you know, just all you had to look at was that shake of the head.
Yep.
And the reaction, the slam of the door, just as he broke that stick over the dashers when he first went off.
You know that he would do anything to stay in this game if he could.
Bates doesn't want to touch or there'll be an offside, but he has to, and they'll bring it back with 8:47 remaining in the second period. So all the optimism that Peter had has been tempered, at least, if not snuffed out completely.
Now, and if you joined us late, here's what happened to Michael Peca. I'm going to watch behind the net, right there on the skate. The stick blade of Axelson gets stuck between the blade and the boot of Michael Peca's right skate. And the twisting action is what led to that. Tried to stay on the ice for that shift, was limping around, was flexing the right leg, tried to stay out there and make the play. He probably stayed for another 25 seconds or so after the injury.
You could see the whole time he was having difficulty. He looked back towards the bench a couple of times. So once we get some information, we'll pass it along to you as Blake throws one wide of the net that goes off a stick. And Murray back forward. Murray into the zone. Broken up by Janssen. We've talked about how flat the Islanders have been over the last few minutes. Not at all coincidental, I wouldn't think, with the departure once again of Michael Peca. I mean, do those things have a tendency to affect the team right in the midst of the game?
No, they could, but they didn't have a good start to this game, Howie. And that's something that Peter Laviolette was very concerned about last game against Ottawa. Not a good start to the game. They had a chance to take a lead in this game, and their power play was very, very ineffective to start the game. And certainly it's a natural thing to be let down when you're captain and all the anticipation of him coming back in the game when he gets hurt.
McInnes got loose, and he just did miss. He was going for that far post against Garth Snow, who replaced Osgood after the third Bruins goal. O'Coin broke for the hole, offside the call. Well, those bobblehead vouchers are in, and so starting tomorrow, November 15th, through Friday, December 6th, you can go to any of the 11 Modell sporting goods stores on the island. And
he's much better now.
Ralston for Murray. Sharp angle shot stopped there by Garth Snow as Paul Stewart, the referee, got tangled up in the corner with Sean O'Donnell, and they both went down.
O'Donnell will end up in a penalty box before this game's over.
I thought Stewie was going to fight him. A right knee sprain. SP is in Peter. Right knee sprain suffered by Michael Peca. That's what we know right now, along with the fact that he will not return. Michael Peca with a sprained right knee after having a stick of P.J. Axelson get locked up in his skate blade, of all things. 6 seconds left to the 4-on-4. Ralston goes wide, and then the knuckleball off the stick of Janssen travels over the net. Ralston gets to the corner, and Blake works it free. So the team's back at full strength now. Some good news on Michael Peca by way of an update. They are affixing the term mild knee sprain to Peca, and they're saying that he's day-to-day.
Against in front of the net, puts it in on the rebound to make it a 3-0 game. Michael Peca, oh boy, the bad news just continues. The stick of Axelson gets stuck in his skate between the blade and the boot. And he struggled to get off the ice. He came back out after, I think, getting it either taped or a brace on. Checks it out. See if he could play one more time, and his response is, no, can't do it. And he's finished for the game. Now, on the positive side, the report is that it's a sprained knee, and he's out on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, they accentuate mild sprain of the right knee.
But being hurt over the course of his career, and how he's always got back quicker and sooner than what doctors and what medical people have anticipated, and what the normal length of time would be for injuries to heal. Michael Peca's always been a quick healer.
Bates goes wide, throws it at the net, denied by Graham, and recovered by P.J. Stock. 3-on-2 if the Bruins hurry. Stock feeds the right wing. Brown, the defenseman, pushes it wide. At least Brown has played quite a bit of defense over the course of his career, but right here, he's playing up front with Boynton and Berard on D. But Brown might just as well be back on defense because he's an aggressive defenseman with a puck anyway. Gavasha holding up at the blue line. Tried to get it down low, went off a skate, came to Yashin, who got the shot off.
You know what a big difference in Graham is? He's patient.
Isbister scores. And the Islanders are on the board. It's 3-1.
Now, he couldn't do much about that. He made the first save on Yashin, and when the puck went to the boards, Gavasha picked it up and came right from the boards with a strong move back towards the net. And then just put it in front where Isbister deflected it in. There's the turnover by Stock. Here comes Gavasha. See how he heads to the net and then just throws it in front. And that was Isbister that was able to, boy, he did a nice job of redirecting that just inside the post. That's a big goal for the Islanders in the first 5 minutes to bring them within 2.
Still 15:32 to go in the third period. So now we'll see if they gain some momentum from the Isbister goal. Just prior to the goal, Alexei Yashin was able to get a good shot at Graham. That was Yashin's first shot of the night.
Yeah. And I was saying about Graham, one of the big differences in him is that he's become a more patient goaltender this year. So for Peter Laviolette, and his team is still in it here with that goal in the first 5 minutes. A lot of times coaches will say, let's just get a goal every 5 minutes. You're down by 3, try and score one every 5 minutes.
Nice if you could make an appointment for one. Scatcherd behind the net. Coaches are always optimistic, right?
Have to be.
Asham for the pitching Hammerlick. Wheels it to the net, but Graham kicks it aside. It's poked off the boards by Sweeney. Bruins send it deep once again. Boutonchon back to get it. He's bumped by Ralston. Boutonchon, pressured by Zaminer, turned it over to Ralston for a backhander that didn't get through. And it's sent all the way down. The Islanders will take an icing here as Gill comes back with 14:46 remaining in the third period. Gavasha and Yashin got the assists on Isbister's goal. Last time the Islanders scored a goal on the road on October the 30th when Justin Mappletoft got that goal on the power play. Shut out their last road game in Montreal, plus shut out for 2 periods tonight.
Pretty close to 3 games total, huh?
And the Islanders going to experience road hockey for quite a while now.
Well, you know, sometimes when things aren't going well, you go on the road, and that's where you can get your game together. The team, you give your team a chance to get together, because there's no way to go. You got to spend a lot of time with your teammates and no family members or anything else. And sometimes that's a good thing.
Well, it might have worked that way for the Bruins this year, who started with 6 games on the road, first 5 of which were played out west, and they went 4-1-1.
Yeah.
And now most of their hard travel is over. But a big hit in center. Blake and Berard came together. Blake lost his helmet, and Snow keeps play moving.
And then Berard went back after Blake with a little bit of a bump. I'm not sure if Blake didn't take the worst of that.
Right in the middle of the ice.
You know, Blake hasn't played as much this game because he was moved down to the 4th line after he'd played pretty well a few games. And Berard, you saw him coming and he was able to brace himself. Both players went down. And there's another look at it again. Berard saw him coming, braced himself, but neither player able to stay on their feet. Good hit by Blake.
Good old-fashioned open ice.
They lose the game and they lose Mike again.
Well, you know what, James? This was supposed to be the night that Michael Peca returned to the lineup and gave the Islanders a lift. Well, he returned to the lineup, but now they feel worse than ever because the captain was back for only a few fleeting moments as he stepped back on the ice. You could see the Islanders had a different attitude about them. And Pierre did pretty well until he got tangled up with P.J. Axelson killing a penalty.
Yeah, that was on the power play for the New York Islanders, and Michael Peca goes down. The good news is it's not his bad knee. It's not the left knee. It's a right knee. They're calling it a sprained right knee right now. Michael Peca only played 5 minutes and 5 seconds of this first game back for him, but the New York Islanders are in a tailspin, and if they can't get some internal leadership, they're going to be some trouble.
8 out of 10 losses now for the New York Islanders. 8 losses in the last 10 games. Alexei Yashin had 1 shot on goal. His line did generate the only goal, but this is a team that's got a lot of problems. They got problems in goal. They got problems up front. They're really in trouble.
They really are, Gordon. The other part of it is they're not competing nearly hard enough. They've got to get some guys that have some fiber and stand up in the room and say, hey, we got to be a whole lot better than what we're showing right now. Everybody's pointing the finger at the goaltending. I don't think that's the problem. The problem's not the goaltending. The problem is guys aren't competing. Power play 20 or penalty kill 29th in the league. Power play 24th in the league. Not winning foot races. Half-hearted efforts from some of their better players. That's not nearly good enough. The Islanders have to look in the mirror as an organization.
Now, meantime, the
he's
Boston
back,
Bruins
but
are now in
on a short-term basis only.
Well, he expected that this would be his full-time return, but yes, he was back, but not for much longer than in his first appearance a couple of weeks ago when he played just 27 seconds against St. Louis. Early in the second period, he's tripped behind the net by P.J. Axelson, and this time he hurts his right knee. That's the good news for the Islanders and Mike Peca. It's not the left knee that had the major reconstructive surgery over the summer. He left the game in the second period, did not return. They're calling it a sprain and listing him as day-to-day, but I think they'll know more about that knee tomorrow.
The good news is, guys, he lasted 27 seconds longer than he did about 11 days ago. But in my mind, I think the onus has to go to ownership, general manager, the coach. But they're looking for some sort of hero to come in and save this this organization who's obviously struggling from their goaltender to their power play, their penalty killing. Mike Peca, Mario Lemieux, Superman couldn't save this team. They're a very bad hockey
John,
club
the
right
skeptics would suggest that perhaps he did come back too early. What do you think?
Well, you look at it, and I think it's like the Dave Babbage situation. And, Nick, you're talking about the superhero and the guy coming back and all that kind of stuff. It's up to the player now. The doctor says, oh, yeah, you can come back. You're a month ahead of time. If Mike Peca's not feeling right, he shouldn't play.
John,
and
it's not up to the player. It should be only up to the player if he says he can't go. If he says he can go, then it's got to be a joint decision between ownership, management, doctors, and the player. But it's not a 50-50 split.
Well, it's up to the player. It should be 99-1 for the player, because the player should say, okay, I don't feel right. I'm not supposed to come back for another month. What am I doing? Yeah. And the Dave Babbage thing is a perfect example of that, where the player has to take the responsibility and say, no, I've got a career ahead of me. This is game 15, 16, or whatever it is for the Islanders.
How many players do you know that are like that?
Yeah, but
they all want to play.
He assured everybody that he felt 100% and wanted to take the chance. Then it's up to management or ownership to say, hey, you shouldn't
And we
be doing
reported
it,
that when he went into the St. Louis game that was his idea through ownership as well. So, should ownership be on the hook for this? Probably not. John, thanks very much as always.
Turn their fortunes around when they hit the ice in Boston against the best team in the East. Peca had played only 20 seconds thus far this season, lasted only a little more than 20 minutes on Thursday after a mild sprain to his right knee sent him to the dressing room early. The highlights from the Fleet Center included at least hanging the jersey up with the captain. That's good news. And then Peca took the ice in the first period against a Bruins team that had been one of the surprises thus far of the year. Sean Bates tried to sneak one through the middle, but P.J. Axelson intercepts and beat Chris Osgood to give the Bruins a 1-0 first period lead. The Isles a great scoring chance on the power play. They go hard to the net. Sean Bates, nice pass from Mark Parrish, but John Graham made the save. Bruins came right back. Joe Thornton waits in the slot. Without the stick is Osgood, and here's what happened. He made a nice stop. Osgood's able to hang in there, but tail end of the first, Islanders defense breaks down again, and oh my goodness, Joe Thornton from Glenn Murray, and it's 2-0 Bruins. In the second, Murray in the middle of it all again. Blasts a Brian Walston blast. Murray on the doorstep, slams home the rebound. It's another power play goal. Bruins 3-0, and then this disaster. Peca's knee gets twisted when P.J. Axelson's stick gets caught in his skates. Another look at it, and you could see a twist and a turn. It's not the same knee that was surgically repaired and rehabbed for 5.5 months, but Peca, very upset, tried to skate on it and realizes it's a no-go and heads off to the locker room. The Islanders end up falling by a final of 4-1, and Michael Peca did not play part of it in the next 2 periods.
That's the injury. Here's the insult. 6 times this year, the Islanders have lost by at least 3 goals, most in the NHL. It happened to them only 8 times all last year. For the Islanders, 8 losses in 10 games. Chris Osgood, 3rd time this year he's been pulled from a game. Islanders lose it in Boston, 4-1.
Obviously, it's you know, it's a negative to take from the game. It was his first game back. He was ready to go, and to lose him that quickly for, you know, an unspecified amount of time right now is tough.
I went to turn and his stick got caught inside my right skate blade, and you know, we're just going 2 different directions, and it just pulled and got twisted up, and I just got a little strain in the muscle that runs behind my right knee. One of those things, I guess. Just ice it up. It feels better now than it did, you know, 45 minutes ago. So hopefully that can continue. So I was a little upset. You know, first shift, you know, took a hit, and you know, the clip on my shoulder harness dug into my non-surgical shoulder and kind of stung me there a little bit. And then I go and twist my right knee, and you know, the surgically repaired side seemed to hold up really well. It was the good side that seemed to let me down today.
That is a tough night at the office.
Nothing but bad luck for the Islanders on that one.
Still to come on this edition of the MSG Sports.
All the way down, perhaps an icing here, but Osgood's forced to play it with Primo bearing down on him. Wade Primo, number 15, tussling with O'Coin behind the net, and the puck dribbles out of the zone. Primo missed all of the second half of last year for the Penguins with knee surgery.
Yeah, he said the knee feels very, very good this year, and he's had a good start, not numbers-wise, but his play's been good.
Randy Robitaille to Primo. A little bit ironic because when Primo got hurt last year, Penguins went out and got Randy Robitaille, who himself returns to the lineup tonight after missing 10 games. Robitaille cracked bone in his foot.
We've seen a lot of that, haven't we? Players with broken bones in their feet. Kavasha had that, Robitaille, Marty LaPointe in Boston. And a few others around the league as well.
Roman Hamrlik in the Islanders zone for Kavasha on left wing. So now it's Yashin, Kavasha, Isbister. And Joe, it really seems as though Yashin's out there every other shift.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. You might as well play him. You got to get him going, and as I mentioned before, the team's got a better chance of winning if he starts scoring. And Howie, on the road, they played 6 games and they've only scored 12 goals. That's 2 a game, and they're giving up 4 goals a game on the road. That doesn't work.
Up come the Penguins. Vanderbilt on the right wing. Lacouture tried to put it down low. That was busted by Hamrlik. Here's Isbister down the right wing into the Penguin zone. Good move to the net. And takes a big hit. And a good hit from the defenseman Michael Rozabal, number 28. Diaz Commander along the boards. And here's Kavasha in alone. He shoots. He scores. Ole Kavasha with his first goal of the year, and the Islanders take a 1-0 lead.
You know where this play was made, Howie, was outside the blue line on the boards in front of the Pittsburgh bench. I believe Tamander was there, but you're going to see just a great pass from Alexei Yashin to set up Kavasha. And this is just a wonderful pass to Kavasha streaking to the net. Look at Tamander, first of all, making the play, and then there's the pass by Yashin, and the quick wrist shot. Beats Hedberg to make it 1-0. Look at that. And he uses his body and his strength to ward off the defender and then makes a perfect pass.
Well, I guess Kavasha changed sticks over the last couple of days. He was working on 5 sticks outside the Islander room in Boston on Thursday. I said to him, pick a winner. He looked at me and says, there are no winners here. He didn't like
Or maybe he's using somebody else's.
Maybe. And he didn't like his lumber right there. There's Weaver shooting one off the side of the post. The outside of the post to the right of Hedberg. Parrish working in the corner with Yashin, who curls out of the pack, floats a backhander that's knocked down in front and peeled away by Rozabal. And Vanderbilt with a dump in. Hamrlik holding off Borozev. And Bates recovers. Do you remember Michael Peca being out for more than 1 shift?
No.
I remember 1.
No.
They've got him for 1 minute and 53 seconds of ice time to this point based on the real-time numbers.
Well, he played early, and then remember the Islanders, they scored a goal, and then they took a few penalties. And he hasn't been used in the penalty-killing role as he was against Boston.
And that's with a little more than 4 minutes to go in the period. Boutonshine goes hard around. Roosevelt took a little tug from Lapointe, gets it out of the zone. Lapointe, Webb, and Asham are the Islander forwards here. Claude Lapointe has played his best hockey against the Penguins. Roosevelt went in hard, and he's hurt.
Well, it was Webb that hit him with a shoulder. I mean, he just crunched him with a shoulder. Roosevelt had somebody chasing him and didn't see Webb coming the other way. And you know how Webb gets when he's got somebody in his sights. He stops skating and he glides and he just looks for him. I mean, it's like he's fixed on that target. And he hit shoulder to shoulder, and Roosevelt, who was reaching for his right shoulder or his collarbone, I mean, that hurt. Roosevelt had pressure from behind, and so when he turned back towards his own net, he didn't see Webb coming. I mean, it was like an 18-wheeler coming at him, and here it comes, and watch him. There he goes to glide, and watch the shoulder hit. Boom. And that's a clean hit. I mean, you saw his arms, his hands, his stick down all the way. He stopped skating, so he was gliding. And let's listen to this. I'm surprised he's up. Tell you the truth. And they're talking to Webb right now. I expect Pittsburgh to go after Webb. The Islanders might end up with that's McKenna on the ice.
Yeah, they've got Steve McKenna, number 23. A shot by Boutonshine tipped away.
Yeah. Watch the Islanders end up with a power play here.
Hamrlik takes it back to his own blue line before sending it all the way down. Offside the call. McKenna staying with Webb.
Yeah, McKenna's going after him. And Webb's smart. You know, we've talked about this in years past, how Webb has the ability to draw a penalty, and I think you should keep him on the ice right here if you can. Peter Laviolette. I think you should stay on the ice. If he can keep him on the ice, he just might get a penalty out of this, or a power play out of this. Pardon me. And he's got something now. He's got it. He's giving McKenna a 1. I didn't think it was enough to give him a penalty. And that's why I was saying keep Webb on the ice. But McKenna gets the penalty. This was after the whistle. McKenna went after him. Just kind of got the stick in there. See, the whistle had already blown. Watch him with the stick. Just comes over, says something to him. See, I don't think it was a penalty.
You know what? They called it unsportsmanlike conduct. So,
well, but you know what? I mean, that nothing happened there. When to me, I know they're cracking down on things, but there's still intimidation is still part of the game. And if you're going to continue to be able to use those types of players in this game, you have to let them do their thing. And nothing happened. We just skated up and bumped them. But it's certainly benefits the Islanders.
As they go to the power play, and they've got Parrish, Yashin, Bates, Hamrlik, and O'Coin out there. Love pass by Melikar, who left the stick in the corner.
That broke it.
Bates has it behind the net. Now to the blue line, O'Coin to Hamrlik. Roman Hamrlik straight away. Gets it back from Yashin. Now to O'Coin for a drive. He scores! Adrian O'Coin on the power play. 2-1 Islanders.
You know, Melikar ended up being a forward, Howie, back out high because he broke his stick and no one gave him a stick. Remember, he's a defenseman. Generally, the forward should give you a stick to use so that you can defend in front. Melikar had a chance to clear the zone, and when he went behind the net, he tried to clear it and broke his stick. Now he's without one. He's number 2. And so he just comes out high to play that position, and you've got a forward now that has to defend in front. That's the situation you want. And the Islanders really moved it well and take advantage of that. And the hard shot. I mean, it was drilled, that shot by Adrian O'Coin. And, of course, he had Mark Parrish in front to help out. But O'Coin gets the goal, his 5th of the year. And the Islanders, with a good first period here, they lead it 2-1.
So for O'Coin, that's 3 goals in his last 5 games.
In the period, Alexei Yashin had 2 assists in the period. Commander makes a good play there, but then watch Alexei Yashin come in right there. Holds onto the puck, finds Kavasha streaking in, and Kavasha with the quick shot. Scores high the game at 1 on the power play. And then the Islanders went on a power play. Adrian O'Coin just rips this shot past Hedberg, and that power play goal gives the Islanders the lead after 1.
Pittsburgh outshot New York 13.
Haven't been able to finish it off.
Got to get a closer. Straka taken in by O'Coin. Penguins keep it deep. Kovalev looks for Lemieux. Now Kovalev to Lemieux. Oh, and Osgood with a brilliant sliding save. He made 2 saves in that flurry. Kovalev gets it back. Mario Lemieux might never have a better chance.
Oh man, he's got his head down. He can't believe the saves by Osgood. Somehow Mario Lemieux, who is 6'6", got lost on the ice. No one could find him. Watch what happens. How can you leave him all alone? He kind of ducks behind the net. And then has that one. What a save. And then another one. Great save. Now that second one, Osgood got his hands up above his body to make the save. We're going to stay with it. Now watch the hands. Up high. Over the top to make the second save. Spectacular goaltending by Osgood.
That keeps the Islanders in
There's
front
one here.
by a
Look at
goal.
that. That's a beautiful save on Straka. That one through traffic. Again, you know, his focus in these last 5 games is just so much better than it was before. That one he took off the glove and then stopped the rebound. And there's the 2 on Lemieux. I mean, he's just battling everything.
A couple of spectacular saves on Mario Lemieux in that sequence. And again, the face-off in the Islanders zone, and Janssen's got it.
No one picks up Tarnstrom, the hard pass, the great shot, and what a save by Osgood.
Chris Osgood has been off the draw. Hammerlick across, and that shot by Commander was steered away by Johan Hedberg. Scatchard feeds the slot. Quick shot, score! Jason Weimer with his 2nd goal of the year, and the Islanders take a 3-1 lead.
Now, Howie, right before the face-off, Weimer was lined up on the boards, and Scatchard said, go behind me, line up behind me, so he moved him all the way to the other side, and Scatchard won the face-off straight back. Now, Weimer watch what he's doing. He's pointing to here, and here comes Weimer. Watch what happens. Go over here, go over there. So he moves him. He wins the face-off clean. Weimer will let it go. But the Islanders, the key is the Islanders end up with control of it. Weimer will end up coming back in. Scatchard will end up going there. Here's Weimer. Watch him go to the slot. Perfect pass by Scatchard. Goal for Weimer.
Working on Weimer, and holds him off long enough so that the Islanders can get it back. We're wrestling in the corner. Scatchard trying to muscle it out. Couldn't do it. Kovalev held it in. And then Lemieux just flicks it behind the net, but Janssen grabs it. 1.5 minutes to go. Kenny Janssen in his own zone, softly off the boards. Karam's right to the middle of the ice, allowing Robitaille to bring it to the line.
And Mario Lemieux to the bench.
Pretty soon Hedberg will go that way himself. Penguins get it deep. Kovalev knocked down, nothing called. Pittsburgh holding it in, 1:09 to go. Hedberg still in the Pittsburgh net, even with a puck in the Islanders zone. Now he heads towards the bench. Bergevin tries to throw it deep, couldn't get it in. But the Penguins managed to send it towards the net. Janssen breaks it up. And now the Islanders, with an empty net at the other end, have Blake slide it down the ice. Somebody threw something on the ice.
Yeah.
And they're
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Probably the crowd. They allowed play to continue. Not sure what it was that hit the ice, but we're down to 42 seconds to go. Empty net. Yashin just missed. And Kovalev with 35 seconds to go. Extra skater for Pittsburgh. The pass was missed by Morozov. Commander back for. No, Morozov must have gotten just a piece of it. Now the Islanders get it out. Hustling back is Dake. 22 seconds to go. And it's lifted back into the Islanders zone. Glove down by Bates. He fires it to the line and then out. Yashin up to center. 10 seconds to go. Empty net. Yashin double teamed. Time running out. 7 seconds remain. Kovalev to Dake. 4 seconds. His drive deflects to the crowd with 1 second. They'll put a little more time back on the clock, I'm sure. It says exactly 1 second. They'll probably put a few tenths of a second, if not an entire second back. But with a face-off outside the Islander line, this one appears to belong to the Islanders.
The Islanders can breathe. They can take a breath right now. They'll close this out. And it was a tense and intense hockey game. But they played hard. They deserved to win. And they got some stellar goaltending from Chris Osgood.
The drop of the puck, mere ceremony. And the Islanders have a big road win. So the Islanders, who were upbeat yesterday and this morning, coming off of a poor game, have their first win on the road in almost 1 full month and only their second overall this season. And Chris Osgood was a huge reason why.
Oh, he was really something. He was really something. He got a lot of help from his teammates. And there's Mark Bergevin, who's going crazy over the referees, thinking there should have been more calls. Slashed his stick against the glass. They were very upset with the way this game was officiated. But Chris Osgood, take nothing away from him. He was spectacular. He allowed 2 goals on 2 shots that were unstoppable. The rebound to Mario Lemieux, the power play goal by Alexei Kovalev that I'm not sure how he was able to score. Other than that, Chris Osgood stopped everything.
And then you think of 2 shots, one by Lemieux and one by Tarnstrom, where you wonder how he stopped them in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Those 2 saves in particular stand out, but Osgood made many of them. And the Islanders, with a 3-2 win here in Pittsburgh, extend the Penguins' winless streak to 5 straight games.
All right, then let's try this one more time. Islanders captain Mike Peca making his return from knee injury tonight, hoping to play the whole game. Believe it when we see it. The good news is the Isles aren't exactly playing a rough team. The bad news is they're playing the Penguins, and Mario Lemieux coming off just his 3rd pointless game of the season. He won't do that 2 games in a row. Lemieux played with Alexander Daig and Martin Strachan that one. This time it's Kovalev and Strachan. Mike Peca back testing out the knee he sprained on Thursday. His right, not his left, which was the surgically repaired one. Isles getting physical. Adrian Aucoin going where no man should go. Cross-checking Lemieux from behind. He's slow to get up, but stretches it out. 5-on-3 for the Pens, down 1-0. Alexei Kovalev jumps in the loose puck. That's his 11th. The 1-0 game. More physical play. Steve Webb hammers Michael Rosefall. He goes down hard. Isles now on the power play. Aucoin drills the shot. That's his 5th. It's 2-1 for New York. Second period, Kovalev, wide open Lemieux. There's that point I was oh, my gosh. Chris Osgood. Couple of big stops there. In the 3rd, Dave Scatchard finds Jason Weimer in the slot. He fires home his 2nd. It's 3-1 for the Isles. Pens power play a little later. Alexei Morozov the shot. Lemieux buries the rebound. That's his 9th. And there's that point, but it comes in a losing cause. The Isles win it by a 3-2 final. Mario Lemieux had actually owned the Islanders coming in. 46 goals, 76 assists, and 64 career games going in. His ownership not enough on this one, though.
Home against the Islanders. Peca in the lineup. He did play not very much, just over 7 minutes, but he was back. First period, Pens down 1-0. You want to see a slap shot? Holy shnikey, Barry, it's like a lacrosse shot.
Don't let your kids see this at home. What a rocket. You're just hoping that doesn't hit you.
Mario and the Pens after the game complained, Barry. Mark Bergevin said it was like a rodeo out there.
I think they're overreacting. I think they're trying to get the calls from the referee, but it is getting rougher out there.
Islander power play 1-1. This guy can shoot it pretty good, Barry. Maybe not McGinnis, but he's close. Adrian Aucoin.
20 goal scorer as a defenseman. He's been by far the Islanders' best defenseman, maybe one of the best defensemen in the NHL.
We'll look at Mario get robbed once, twice, 3, 4. Chris Osgood had his A game, Barry.
Best game of the year for Chris Osgood, and he needed it early. He won the game for the New York Islanders. They had a ton of chances early. He closed the door on all those big snipers of Pittsburgh.
Still 2-1, perhaps the greatest waiver wire pickup in NHL history. Dick Tarnstrom, former Islander. But no, 3rd period, Penguin power play. Finally, 66 finds the net. And the Penguins are down by 1. Mario's 9th. One more chance. Alexander Daig for the tie. Osgood, look how aggressive Barry is.
Confident. That's a different Osgood tonight. He made a lot of key saves when the game was 1-1.
Kabasha, Aucoin, and Weimer for the Islanders. Just their 3rd win in the last 11 games. Their 5-game road trip continues Wednesday in Florida, so they have some time off. Kovalev and Mario, the Pens are winless in 5. First loss at home since they lost their home opener against Toronto. They're at Montreal Monday. They have a home-and-home with the Canadiens.